Hello and welcome to the Geek Fortress stream. Todd Stevens now
Hi, Todd.
auto-hosting for up to 8 viewers. Gotta appreciate that. Hello to everybody. We're back from San Antonio. We're feeling extra fly, or at least I am. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Wonderful. I feel like that plane has just instilled itself into my very being, and now I just don't know what to do except flap my wings and hope for the best. Of course, we are going to find ourselves into a fun new world of that sweet, sweet modern format.
Who doesn't love modern?
I guess, actually, I do enjoy modern. I love it. It's a lot of
That's
good.
true.
Yeah, Team
We did
Unified
just-
Modern.
That was fun.
Different.
It was different. You weren't down in the Wild West with me, though.
No, you were in certainly the Wild West of Seat C. That's probably fine, right?
Sure.
Okay. Totally not breaking things over here on my end. Not
Just
doing.
leaning. All right.
No, we're fine.
It won't fall.
We're fine. How was the GOP? Also, 0 loyalty emblems. How bad of a... Oh, gotcha. The new Gideon. Did you see it?
I saw him.
It strikes me as cool.
Interesting.
It's like...
Gideon tribal and modern.
It seems decently powerful, but at the same time not, like, openly busted. Mm-hmm. My biggest takeaway is that I'm really glad that there's a Planeswalker, which doesn't strike me as an immediate 4 of in every deck.
Yeah.
Which I'm really getting bored of, because Planeswalkers are busted.
Yeah, but if you don't have 4 of them, how do you keep a Gideon on the field?
Well, you probably run it as a 4 of in a deck,
Yeah.
but not in all
Every
of them.
deck? That's fair.
Exactly.
I'm going to go get a match.
Okay, go have some fun with it. Find something sweet. Give us a treat. Give us something good to eat. I don't really know. But hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Are we loving it? Are we loving the world?
Well, that was easy. Facing the wall is Lewis.
Okay.
His opponent, B. Mason.
Okay, I like this. What's Lewis playing today?
Grixis Delver.
Not what he's normally on. And he's up against Mason, who is, I'm guessing, on his
He's on
usual Naya
Mason
midrange.
deck.
The first person to run Bonfire. Just gonna toss that one out real
That's true.
quick.
Bonfire before it was cool.
Far before it was cool.
I had my opponent take out bonfires against me.
Yeah, strikes me as wrong. Let's see here. So for this one, let's do the Chandra Torch of Defiance. I think that seems like a reasonable one.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm also going to prepare one thing, which he asked me to.
Uh-oh.
Yep. I think we'll be fine. I just got to do a quick little prep thing here.
He's searching for
Nope.
random stuff. Ah. I see where we're going with this.
Yep. Dang it.
Ah.
There we
So
go.
yes, Team Unified Modern got a little crazy.
Got a bit nuts.
It's weird because the way it works is there's like 2 decks that are like real decks, and then the third deck is usually something...
It's like the third deck in a sealed.
Yeah.
Team sealed.
Like that guy down there, he's going to try to win.
Yeah. Good on ya. All right, let's head on down and get ready for round 1. You hyped?
Hype.
All right, we'll see you there. Oh, and a smiley face from Mason.
What a pleasant thing to look at
It
when you come
really
to the match.
is. It puts a smile on my face.
It does.
All right. Yeah, actually, the new Gideon, I don't know. It doesn't strike me as being absurdly busted. Like, it dies to things. You're spending your turn 3 to do that. I don't know. It's good. Like, it's not that it's bad.
Hello, Walnuts Magoo.
Walnuts Magoo. Good morning?
Good evening. It's evening.
Yes. A blood crypt from Lewis off of that polluted Delta, also going down to 17 early on. Kazrak Not Real with the sub. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate that. That's 3 months in a row. You are great. Going for black or red mana on turn 1 strikes me as, I think this is okay, so it's an Inquisition.
Is the rest of it not a legal target, or is that just... Did he grab...
There's a lightning bolt
and land.
and land. No, and a Scavenging Ooze. So I think the intent there was to take Mason's turn 1 play. Strikes
fair.
me that Lewis likely has turn 2 disruption, if that's the case.
yeah.
Or maybe just isn't going to be relying on the graveyard this time.
Well, he's going to fetch shock again here, so he's either a sweet threat or He's getting blue, so it could be a Delver here and with Bolt backup, that kind of thing, which is not bad against this deck.
I think it's mostly just you need the blue, maybe a Serum Visions as
Yeah.
well. Strikes me as one, because going for the Blood Crypt turn 1 strikes me as odd.
I mean, he needed the black for Inquisition, but
But-
not getting a Watery Grave seems weird.
Because what land did he use? Yeah, I
He
think
used a Delta. He could have.
Yeah, he could have gotten one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it got the blood. Yeah. So, young peasy, as they say. Not bad, especially in Delver decks. Going to try to be doing the Deface Mountain.
All right, so he goes for the Lightning Bolt, takes it down. I may have missed it. I'm sorry, Goblin Guy. But thank you so much for your continued support. I'm going to assume that does in fact mean that you subbed. Thank you for being amazing and awesome. It's a pleasure having you here at all times. You're great. And, Windswept Heath joining the battlefield. Could be looking at the Scavenging Ooze with
I would
Mason.
go for now while he's tapped out. That makes more sense.
Notice that card at the bottom of the library, by the way.
That's not where it needs to be.
No. You want that one right to the top. The only problem is that if Lewis has any number of removal, it does become a little bit problematic.
He's going to
that-
go to 16 for this, which it's going to get a little... Yep, there's the Bolt back. And keeping up the blue-red, which...
Probably Spell Snare.
Yeah.
Looks like we do have a
Spell Snare's really
secondary
good.
bolt, but I guess if I saw that, I'd probably be considering that's a Spell Snare.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's a Loxodon Smiter. Actually, this one's gonna look decently good. No one-mana spells aren't really gonna answer that really well. It's a creature, countering it, not really an option.
No, I mean,
And,
you
not-
can want to. I've been there.
What's up, Tin Man? It is good to be back. I've
Draws an
certainly
Is
missed
It
this
Charm,
stream.
looks at Mana Leak, and what's the other card? Whatever it was, it's going to the bottom.
Anything big to report? I got to talk to a lot of people that I look up to over the course of the weekend. So it was pretty fantastic.
He was a social butterfly.
I was a social butterfly, and I fluttered. I fluttered so far. So the Smiter getting in, and actually I love this card on this field right now. It's looking like...
I mean,
Really, Lewis
Lewis
is just
could
looking...
play
Terminate.
Angler or Tasigur to make this. Let's see. Terminate.
A Lightning Bolt going to take down that one. He is still going to gain a little bit of life from that, so it's not going to be...
I mean,
too
Murderous
huge.
Cut wouldn't be bad either. I think it's a 1-of in the Delver deck.
There we go. Sorry, I'm playing with a little bit of our settings on the camera.
Draws another land finally, which lets him try and do more in a turn than one spell. Although he's got a lot of 2-mana spells right now.
Yeah, he's actually in a pretty rough spot. He's got that Terminate in hand, but remember that killing the Loxodon Spider means that he's developing still almost no pressure without any 1-mana spells in hand.
I mean, he has Terminate Bolt in hand, I think. I think
Oh,
I saw
maybe...
Bolt there, so
well,
he
he used
could...
the Lightning Bolt on the Huntmaster.
He goes to combat.
Cool things to say
Terminate
about my
there.
Goblin Chieftain choices? That's fine. He's in the booth. He's
Fetch.
well can be as wrong as he wants. So down to 9. Using a Lightning Bolt on this token feels bad, but if it's going to clear out the board... The problem is I'd hate to use this 1 mana here, and then... I think Mason has got nothing in hand, but if Mason then
Kind of
just
follow up.
drops down like a
Another
Chandra...
another Smiter would be just... That'd be game.
A Chandra would be just
Yeah.
incredible. Colossopede, feel free to toss spoilers into chat during this stream. It is spoiler season. So if it is actually a spoiler, you're more than
Fetching
welcome
and
to.
shocking for this. He wants double blue for something? They don't run Cryptic. Just 2 blue spells a turn. Seems to be decent. There's the third bolt.
My goodness. So what do you want that for? Maybe for an Is It Charm as well
you
as
can Is It
Serum
Charm as
Visions?
well as Serum Visions. That's what I would want.
Maybe just trying to line up, loading up on the blue spells.
Yep. There's a Remand.
JH Portnoy, it's reasonable. 4 green, 5/5 flavor text. Oh, so it's just a 5/5 for 5. Huh. Interesting.
5/5 for 5. I'll play it and see.
Interesting. And tapped wrong. I mean, not actually, but drew the Inquisition. So we are just going to pitch that one because we can't
The
cast
feels.
it. I mean, it's also pretty bad on this board. Mason's
Yeah.
sitting on so much mana that you have to
he
assume that any
draws
card in
a
his hand
Delta
isn't...
anyway, which can just go get a swamp.
Right.
Although you don't really want to go to 6 against.
No, and honestly, an Inquisition strikes me as being really bad. I like that he got rid of it, because anything that was 3 or less, Mason would have already played.
Yeah.
or it's an instant which he can just cast in response.
Yep.
But there's nothing where I would assume, oh, Mason must have some 3-mana creature. He's got 6 mana.
Mhm.
Let's see.
So he's got 2 cards in hand. Mason's basically drawing anything as live right now. Path end of turn.
Sure. Looks like Lewis has got no follow-up play, too. Actually,
I mean, he has a remand in hand. So if Mason, say, bonfires and taps out, he can just remand that. But
possibly.
at this point, any big creature or spell...
I think Mason doesn't have
I think he's got all lands.
He actually does run more creature lands than most, too.
Mhm.
I believe he's got a Treetop Village as well as a String Wildwood. Miffy, thank you so much for the sub. It's awesome having you here. You are great and wonderful. How was San Antonio? Played
Awesome.
Played medium to bad. Had far more than average fun.
The Inquisition's seeing path. I'm going to take a path.
That does seem reasonable, and I think he went for the one on the left.
Yeah,
That's actually a pretty good pick.
As you know, you don't take the left path.
Oh,
That's
man.
just not right.
Yeah, you want to take the path less traveled.
It's true. Delver, see if we can get some pressure going.
I mean, Mason's got a path, so
I know.
it strikes me as unlikely. But
I mean, do you save the path for, Tasigur or Angler, which could just
I-
hit the board and take over?
I can cast anything off the top. I'm probably going to save it.
Yeah.
Just so that I have more
I
information.
mean, you're at 16 still. I'm not that, or 15. I'm not that worried about a Delver.
Right. So, I'm willing to find out what my draw is. Oh man, As Foretold looks interesting. And apparently we want to go for it now. First relevant thing is that he's going for this during
Main
his
phase.
turn and main phase. He does not. He runs Bonfire, though. As Foretold looks interesting. And I'm curious to see. It strikes me as a card that will be combo, not value.
Mm-hmm.
Casting Restore Balance off of it sounds super fun.
Yeah. He's fetching here, also going down to 6. Just making life easier for later.
No. Man, that Bonfire is going to be so good. Note the Raging Ravine, by the way.
Yeah, that's huge right now.
It means that Lewis needs to have,
He's got a Terminate in hand.
and a Remand.
So, this is
He's
going
got
to be
enough
kind of
mana
a,
to activate this, draw out Lewis's play, and still have a threat afterwards.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Destroyed.
So that's going to go to the graveyard. Do we have...
He does.
Actually, that's really good.
Let's not.
Unfortunate. But if Mason does get the opportunity to play that, that was going to get back the Raging Ravine. That was actually a pretty cool little thing. Actually, it would more likely get back maybe the Scavenging Ooze with how much mana he's got available to him.
Probably, because he can just get this back out of reach.
But the creature land is significantly harder to kill as well. So a fetch land means that Mason's got this board decently assembled again. Actually. I don't think that he has any on the board at the moment.
Voice of Resurgence 2.
Voice of Resurgence, not bad. And remember that Mason's got a lot of time.
Yeah.
He's still at 15 life. He hasn't actually taken that much pressure. And Lewis is operating, I think, at near top deck mode.
Yeah, he's got... I don't know what the one card in hand is. Well, let's see if he gets himself... Hey!
Gas.
I mean, at this point, that's probably the best card he could have on top that's not, a Thoughtseize to get rid of that.
So a Terminate as well. So we're going to...
Land!
Nailed
Yes.
it. And bottom.
Bottom.
I think you put the...
Keep the basic on top?
Actually, I like putting the Izzet Charm on bottom. I think because it as a looting ability strikes me as kind of medium unless you're going to save the land. But then you're basically just... Your best case scenario is to draw a second land and another card. It might also just be for the consideration of he knows about the Renegade Rallier.
Yeah.
So he wants the Izzet Charm as a way to answer that card. But actually, I may have put the Izzet Charm on the bottom because countering an instant or sorcery, unless you pay 2, almost irrelevant at this stage.
I mean,
of the
casting a
game.
counter right now is very poor with the voice on field, too. You just lower your time.
JH Portnoy, thank you so much for the sub. That's amazing. You're amazing. Thank you for supporting what we do here at Geek Fortress. Thank you for helping us do this. Yes, you can. GBNO Oliveira. Stirring Wildwood. It's another creature land.
That is.
It also has reach.
It does, which is important.
Funky Dude! 787! Thank you so much for your sub. You're great. You're amazing. Thanks for being who you be. So the attack
We're about to get
for
to the
2.
point where he's going to have to keep this Insectile Aberration back as a blocker, which never feels great.
Well, I mean, blocking against the Voice Resurgence, actually, I'm surprised that he didn't block that. He's not winning this race.
And then you can Is It Charm the token.
Exactly. That actually strikes me as a much more relevant play than doing this. Apparently he just wants him to have the 1-1, but remember, this Insectile Aberration has lost all value with this during Wildwood on the field.
Yep.
And I'm not really sure if it's worth it to me to get in 3 damage here when I'm at 4 against a deck running Boros Charm and Lightning Bolt. Like, being at 9 is relevant, but we've already fired off 3 bolts.
Yeah, he's
How
not-
many? You're
Not
on
like
the
he's holding
Snapcat.
triple bolt in hand.
Well, no, but basically it's now a
Uh-oh.
draw to Snapcasters.
Bonfire off the top.
Hold on. Yes! I did it! I did it!
Nice. That'll get there.
Oh, yes! Hold on, can you open the door really quick? Do you remember your request?
What?
Do you remember your request?
Oh, you did it!
Oh, yeah! Oh, how long have I been wanting to do that? Since they did it on coverage and Mason said, hey, TJ, can you do this next time I do?
Yep.
And I said, I'll see what I can do. Turns out what I can do is that.
Brian Kibler would look rather sadly at his teammate and shake his head. Sideboarding. Grixis Delver, what would you do in this matchup here?
Today couldn't have gone any better.
It's true.
Okay, so, a lot of mid-range creatures.
TJ, yeah, me. That's my face all the time, though, to be fair.
I'm actually not too thrilled with, like, any of my... Like, I don't really want Is It Charm at all. Is It Charm
No,
strikes me
it's
as
not
pretty
that
medium.
good in this matchup.
The things that I want, grinding in this game is going to be a little bit tricky, so I probably want anything that's going to... I think I just want more hard removal.
Sleeves. What is this?
I think I just want hard removal.
Yeah.
I just... Anything that can deal with the large creatures. The big issue here is, like, the Locks on Smiter can't be countered, so Remand, not an effective answer.
No.
So that card's a problem. You also need a way to answer the Chandra, which is in this deck. That card is absolutely phenomenal in this moment.
Does Lewis know the Chandra is in this deck?
Makes
You
him
didn't
plays
see
this
it.
deck weekly.
I know.
So at a certain
it
point...
morphs, though.
It morphs
Some
a
days
lot.
you'll come in and it'll have some random card that you're like, oh, what is that?
Yeah. 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 The mustache that LSV had in that clip is incredible.
It's pretty good.
Thoughts on all the sweet red deck wins goodies? You mean the one? It's cool. Everything else strikes me as medium.
There's the one man.
The one man is medium.
enchantment.
The one man enchantment is medium, but cool.
Until Proliferate comes out, and then you just make their guy die. I'm
Uh,
calling Proliferate next block. Next.
I would maybe consider running that one in a deck that somehow used, like, if the trial had been like 2 mana, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Any of the, like, the one that strikes me as pseudo relevant is the one that deals 4 damage to a creature, and then has come back to deal like damage to each opponent or something like that.
Yeah.
But the 1 mana creature is bleh. The 3 mana creature that gives you another combat is awful. It, like, I mean, it's just like, this is a set based on -1/-1 counters, and it's a 3/1.
It's going to die.
Especially in a format that is entirely defined by Hangerback Walker. Like, the card's just hot garbage.
Scalding Tarn gets Steam Vents. Classic Delver opener. I like it.
Ooh, Super Dope Killer. Thanks, Walnuts So,
That is a classic Delver opener if I've ever seen one.
Scalding Tarn, Steam Vents,
And
Delver.
Delver,
See,
go.
this is only a classic modern intro to Delver if he misses on turn 2.
And that is why Delver is not as good in Modern.
Oh, man. Ooh. I'd put them both at fantastic. I don't pick favorites.
Way to be non-committal.
Thank you. Maeve would be proud. So we got a Fetch Shock Lightning Bolt taking down that Delver. Let's see, would it have flipped? Nope.
Nope. Land.
Classic. Classic. A Blood Crypt coming down. Lewis is going to go down to 15.
Gonna shock and... I thought he was going to bolt the face off, like...
No, Inquisition actually looks great here. If cutting off the turn 2 creature is pretty relevant.
Oh, no.
My goodness. So we've got 2 lands. 2 lands, 10 damage, and a Thrun. Take your pick. What you want.
Hope you got a Thoughtseize.
Oh my god.
I would take the Boros Charm, that's the right... Okay.
No, I think he's taking the Lightning Bolt because it's creature removal. The Boros Charm, for all it does, doesn't actually interact with the board very well.
It can make that Thrun indestructible. I'm not wrong.
That's true. You got me there. So taking out it strikes me as the creature removal being like the relevant part here, and Lewis missing land drops. Remand is...
I mean, Delver doesn't need more than 3.
There has to be a remand on board now.
I mean,
He might just be trying to rely on a remand to draw the 3rd land and has not had the opportunity to do so.
I mean, he's got Izzet Charm in hand and Terminate.
Then why not? Maybe I would fire off the Izzet Charm, probably main phase in this case. He might be trying to take down one of those instant sorceries, but if I can do an Izzet Charm, hit the land, and then hold up a Lightning Bolt, that strikes me as being significantly better for me.
Can't counter that.
Mason, on the other hand, is deciding to just crush every Grixis player's dreams with uncounterable creatures that don't die to most things.
Oh my. Using the...
If you find a land here... Actually, still hasn't found a land.
He's got a Tasker, though, which...
Tasker looks really good. It means that
What do you
Mason might
discard?
have to...
Izzet Charm and what else?
Izzet Charm feels so bad right now.
Yeah, I would discard that right now. He's pulled that to the
The
front.
Serum Vision seems like an important thing for me to do that and then cast the
Did
Tasker.
he discard the Tasker?
I don't think so. That's might have been like a collective brutality, and just doesn't have the resources to pitch.
He drew another Terminate.
He may have pitched the
I think
Tasker
he pitched
though.
the Tasker. Yep. All right.
Odd.
Hey, he drew land.
Nice.
Never didn't have it. Delver Remand. Top.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. You're absolutely right. Thrun is game overs. No, okay, we do still have this one.
Tasker. All right.
So with the Thrun and the Lockstone Smiter, this
He did
Tasker
pitch a
is
Tasker.
significantly worse. Okay, so we were just doubling up on them. Doubling up on Taskers, keeping... Why would you keep a Delver and an Izzet Charm as opposed to the Serum Visions in a deck with Snapcasters? Is there... I'm not entirely sure. Maybe there just aren't Snapcasters in this deck.
Maybe.
I have to assume that there are.
Path Tasker.
Draws the path.
Do you shuffle the Delver Remand away? Apparently he is. he halfway through stopped shuffling. I probably thought he was like...
Maybe Nah, this is right. Yeah. I mean, Delver, like, that's such a long-term game plan when you're looking down the barrel of a Thrun box on Smiter.
I don't know that I would have pitched the second Tassiger.
I may have actually just actually pitching the second Tassiger, odd. Also just keeping, like, a Delver Remand on top when I am looking for anything else. Like, Remand is so bad against this hand. Because it doesn't beat Lockstone Smiter, it doesn't beat Thrun.
You can cast it at Thrun to draw a card.
Yeah, but
2 mana draw a card, instant speed.
I don't know. I think we're in a position where Mason is very distinctly taking an edge in this. Like, Lockstone Smiter on the field.
I mean,
So
Lewis is winning, though, by the scoreboard.
Lewis is winning by the scoreboard, but at this point, there's even a realm in which Mason doesn't even need to cast the Thrun.
No,
he
just
will.
It's,
But, like,
it's just the backup plan.
You've got a Lockstone Smiter that's not dying to anything except to Terminate, which we haven't even seen yet. Which is in his hand.
He's got 2 in
It's
hand.
probably going to be when he goes for the attack this turn, but at this point he's
Gonna
using
fetch.
those resources, and
Yeah,
then
that's shock. Okay.
after combat, you're just going to drop a Thrun. Like, what do you do? And then he'll be
With
able
the
to...
Boros Charm. Oh, this is just...
And then even then, the worst case scenario is to have a Boros Charm, like, just hold it up in case Lewis brought in Damnation. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, he Boris Charmed for the Terminate. The feels.
Doesn't even need to play the Thornate. You obviously aren't playing Thoughtseize. I feel fine.
It's like, he's just going to sit here as the...
Well, because if he
The backup
Thoughtseizes, he
plan.
falls to 5 against...
I know.
Sorry, he falls to 4. So Thoughtseize is no longer an option, except for the fact that he has this... So he needs Thoughtseize plus Terminate to even get rid of the Thrun and the board. That
He
is the
needs-
exact sequence.
Well, yeah, that's about it.
It's Thoughtseize Terminate, and that puts you
He
at
has
4 against
Terminate
the
in
deck
hand.
running Boros Charm, and, which we've already seen, Bonfire.
Well, we know he has a Terminate in hand, so if this is Thoughtseize off the top, he lives a turn. That's a bolt. So, no, it's a...
Grim Lavamancer can
Lava-
block,
It can. Yay.
but your outs here are so slim.
You could Young Pyromancer, and then...
Oh my goodness.
Heavens.
Mason's deck is really good at beating up blue decks.
It is. That's...
Oh my
I've played
goodness.
blue decks against it. You just cry.
Oh my
What's he got?
goodness.
You drew a card. Set it there. Is it for Miracle? Is this, you gonna take another turn? Oh. Uh-oh. 2 red. Using Chandra to cast
And
that.
he's holding up a path. So he used that, did not go for the exile clause to leave Lewis at 6, so that he could hold up a path to exile to deal with any threat card.
Goodness.
What a way to go.
They just beat
Oh.
up on the blue decks.
That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Mason just crushes it with Loxodon Smiter and Thrun
Thrun
and a
just
Chandra's
sat
Torch
there.
of Defiance up against a Grixis Delver deck, which just...
You tried.
It didn't, like, it wasn't able to put anything together. It was just always under siege of those effects. That was
Yeah.
just a brutal game, too. Mm-hmm. Man, Mason takes this one in 2, and we're going to try and find another one.
Another match.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. We'll see you up there. Welcome back to the Geek Fortress stream. My name is TJ, where we stream 3 times a week out of Geek Fortress. You can check out the shop at geekfortressgames.com. It looks like the brightness got played with just a little bit more, so I'm going to have to play with that a little bit. But feel free to check out the website, to check out the singles and sealed selection, help support the store, help keep it going, and help keep those cool things happening, much like this stream. Plus, while you're at it, if you're ever in the area, feel free to swing by, play in one of our events. We're having a lot of fun with them, and we got some cool stuff coming up. We're also mulling over some pretty cool ideas coming up in the future. So, to all of you just joining, thank you so much. And what just happened? We just had...
Okay.
All right.
Steven. With a D.
And what's Tyler?
Affinity. Sorry. Talking goodly, can I?
And...
Goryo's Vengeance.
Interesting. And both players, what game are they going to?
3.
So we're going to Game 3, Affinity versus Goryo's Vengeance. This is actually a pseudo-interesting matchup. It's interesting.
Pseudo-interesting.
Like,
Means it's not interesting.
well, I mean, Goryo's Vengeance is the much faster deck because
It
it
is.
just... and it's generally favored. So Tyler's either going to have to get a blazing fast start with Infect or potentially find into some of the graveyard hate that he has access to. Probably in the form of Relic of Progenitus. But it is going to be a little bit tricky. I think that Steven likely is the advantage. In Game 3, it gets a little bit odd. Goryo's Vengeance has access to some pretty potent hate because like it's able to produce enough mana.
Yeah.
I mean, you were running like 3 Anger of the Gods, which is a very powerful card.
Seems decent against.
Anything else that was in your deck particularly?
Nothing for Affinity. I won Shatterstorm.
I mean, like a Shatterstorm is actually reasonable and extremely castable in this one too.
Especially, turn 2 you do it with 2 Spirit Guides.
JH Portnoy, you're too kind to me. Not sure when you resub, but sorry you missed it. That's okay. Thank you so much. You're great. You are great. Can you find or get Mason's list? Not at the moment. Well, we can try. Is Hate Bears out there? Yes. Let's head on down for Game 3. We'll see you there. Oh, okay. So apparently we
We're going.
had Tyler, who lost game 2 by the look of it.
Yep.
Actually, no, it looks like Steven maybe... yeah, okay, so he went Arcbound Ravager with a Memnite. He's on his turn 2, and it looks like Steven is actually just going to go with a Tormenting Voice. So, going for a discard draw spell here, doesn't have the instant speed available to him, and I don't believe he has any of the giant creatures. Both of them on a mulligan, and Tyler with only 2 cards left in hand. None of these cards, notably, are the power cards.
No.
I believe that's an Inkmoth Nexus, which might be one of his few outs.
Ooh, all he does is discard a land. That feels bad in this deck.
It feels real bad. Absolutely.
And he drew 2 lands.
So
Classic.
pass back, and Tyler's got an opportunity to strike. He's a bit away. He can swing for 5 with Infect and just hope for the best. He can make it to where he wins next turn, and that might actually just be the play. If Steven's pitching a land, taps out for that, that might be the line that I try and take for myself. But it looks like we're actually going for a little bit of more damage.
Spread the damage out.
So it's going to be down to 16 and up to 1 poison. It's not quite as potent, but it might also mean that Tyler has got some powerful cards, maybe like a Cranial Plating.
Yeah.
Because if he's able to drop a land, he will actually have access to play the Cranial Plating, also activate the
Steven's
Inkmoth
got
Nexus.
Collective Brutality in hand and Agorio's Vengeance. That's not a creature.
I think you target the Arcbound Ravager.
Yep.
Force him to start to either sack multiple things to that card now, and the Duress strikes me as actually pretty underwhelming.
And discard the Gristlebrand to drain.
I
I
might
don't think I care about looking at an instant or sorcery. And actually, would you clear the way of any hate cards right now?
Well, the problem is no hate cards are instant or sorcery, so it would
mean,
be
if
more
he's-
just getting information.
Would he run like a surgical or anything like that?
No. It would be almost entirely for information purposes. And he's just going to go... So this is a really conservative Arcbound Ravager. He has to have another powerhouse in hand, if that's the case. But he is going to go for the Drain Life, so he's not that worried about the hand either. So it's
Ooh.
18 all, 1
Just
poison.
passes it back.
He does... next turn, he's got a Gristlebrand, though.
Yeah.
Off of that Glorious Vengeance. It may not be enough, interestingly enough. But 3 poison, 1 damage are going to be up to 4. Yeah, I'm a little bit perplexed by Tyler's play here. I may have been a little bit more incentivized just to go all in on one of these Inkmoth Nexi
Just sack out.
because of the way that this has just been going.
Yeah.
But,
Worst case, you make him use the Glorious Vengeance defensively.
well, he hasn't played a land yet this turn. I am pretty incentivized at this point to try and draw 7, just to maybe... I may have actually done this pre-combat, because what if you hit, say, Simian Spirit Guide in the land, and then you can just, Faithless Looting away an Emrakul or something like that. But it looks
Yeah.
like he's going to...
Drawing 7 again. Oof. What is he digging for?
Well, he's not under any pressure. You can dig for anything and then just discard a bunch.
What is
That is a Fury of the
Okay,
Horde.
that is.
Wow.
All right.
Or... I'm just going to bring up this card really quick so that people can see what just happened. Because it is somewhat relevant. You may exile 2 red cards from your hand rather than play Fury of the Horde's mana cost. Untap all creatures that attacked this turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. So, he just discarded 2 red cards to each of these and basically said, I'm going to swing 3 times, if that's cool with you. And Tyler apparently thought that was cool with him.
Yep.
The cool part about this is that the Gristlebrand, each time it attacks, you actually get to draw another 7. So
Yeah.
the deck has a decent capacity to reset itself for this one. It's a little glass cannon-y, but up against a deck like Affinity with a pretty low ability to disrupt, not a whole lot of counter spells, not a whole lot of ability to really stop you, it worked exceedingly well just now.
Seems decent.
Yeah, that was great.
Fury of what? I like it. Chat's got it together.
Fury of what?
I like he just attacked.
Zach, how's it going? I gotta say, you never responded to the deck list I sent you.
It was quality.
Yeah, we made that at 2 a.m., and I'm pretty sure it's perfect.
I think we broke Modern.
Easily broke. Well, we broke it. But hello, T Forbes. It's good to see you. Let's head on up to the booth and get ready. I mean,
I could probably find another match. We
all
got,
right.
20 minutes still. Something
Woo!
like that.
Let's head on up. We'll see you there. Hello and thank you for joining. My name's TJ. Eric's out trying to find us another match here in round 1 of 4 here at Geek Fortress, located in Snohomish, Washington. Be sure to check out the website at geekfortressgames.com, where you can make all those super cool purchases that you know and that you love. Dylan will, of course, pack each single one with love, with care, and then he will send it to you, likely through the air. What is up, Lobard? Nice to see you as well.
You're in games currently.
All right. I significantly missed streaming. I haven't done this for over a week, which sounds like a really small amount of time, but it feels like a really big amount of time. Missed the big hat? I do miss that big hat a lot.
That was quite the hat.
I debated with them a good little bit about whether or not I was going to bring it back.
Yeah, but we had to figure out how we would get it through the airport.
Traveling with it seemed difficult. I considered wearing it on the plane. They vetoed that.
We had to sit on either side of you, so that was not happening. It would have just been like...
But imagine how little sun would be in our eyes. That hat was great.
You could have sheltered 2 people in that hat with you.
You missed the sticker glasses? That one was great, actually. I ended up taking the sticker off of those glasses, and I felt bad.
Finally.
Yeah, I finally took them off. I broke down.
Sticker glasses, oh boy.
I know it. So, what? Thank you so much, Kane2000. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you to everybody who has subbed, and thank you to those of you who are considering it, because that means a lot to me, too.
Thank you for everyone just watching.
Yeah, watching is a lot to us. We like doing this stream. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, if there was no one watching, we probably wouldn't be doing this.
I mean, we did it at first.
We did.
I'd probably play more often than I do.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. I should be back streaming from home relatively soon. I got a new desk yesterday, which is currently sitting in the middle of my studio. So tomorrow, after I have a night meeting, I'm going to be getting the old desk moved, the new desk in, and then this weekend I'm going to get the old desk out. Is it possible to slip in a DM to discuss deck list? Send me a message on Twitter. I'd love to. Send me a message on Twitch, but send the whisper to Red Baron NTG. That's me. Which
If you send it to Geek Fortress, that's this computer here.
If you get it to Geek Fortress, I will get it eventually, but less soon. Significantly less soon. But it is also an option. I will eventually get it. I'll just it might take a bit longer for me. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm always down. I'm not the most useful, but I am always enthusiastic. Right? That's reasonable?
Yes.
Okay. I do
He can find something to love in every deck.
Give me one.
A deck?
Yeah.
Vancouver Esper.
Oh. What is cooler than Obsdot charming back a Judge's Familiar?
Gotcha.
When's the last time that you went turn 1, Judge's Familiar, turn 2, pass? They try and cast their Serum Visions on turn 2 for some reason, and you say, hold
Because
on
they're playing
there,
around the Judge's
Buckaroo.
Familiar.
You sack the Judge's Familiar, they pay the one you say, haha. Comes out, Orzhov Charm, bring it back, sack it again. Pay
Gotcha.
that. Any Scred tonight? Yes, there is Scred tonight, actually.
There is.
Steven is playing that one. By the way,
Yes, we did build a deck around that at 2 a.m. on a trip.
that deck was so good. Solstice, what's so good about that? It's a deck that is entirely built about creating an aggressive strategy off of an inherently defensive ability, which is actually really cool from a design perspective. Someone went like, I want to take the fact that I'm gaining all the life and make that beat your face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what do we like about Nightfall? We broke it,
We broke Nightfall,
and then they banned it.
and then they banned it. But man, Nightfall was great.
It was.
Nightfall was great. What do I think of Nightfall? It's pretty cool. I could very much see a world in which it's a little bit less all-in in the combo and maybe moves almost into the direction of taking Todd's Green-White Value Town, putting in a Blue Splash, and then operating with the Retreat to Coral Helm as well. because the deck is based around playing so many lands in a given turn anyway, even without the Knight, it might actually be able to get a little bit of value off of that. Something like a turn 2 Saheeli going into the Retreat to Gorehome and starting to get a lot of scries and tap triggers to get in damage with... It strikes me as interesting. I'm not sure if it's better, but that strikes me as a potentially interesting place to take the list. Infect. Infect's great because it's an entirely unique mechanic that's actually really cool, and it applies a completely different method of combat, where suddenly an 8/8 blocking a 1/1 is not as simple as it seems. So, Infect's great. Copycat, very cool. Something about...
The Return of Twin.
Like, Felidar Guardian, using Felidar Guardian to bounce a Spreading Seas is one of my favorite things about that deck.
That's a hilarious thing, actually.
Eggs is gloriously cool because it can just do awesome things, and it uses the Battle Ball as a Black Lotus. Is that not cool? Yes, it is. What do I like about Alcatraz Birdman? I like that Donovan plays it, so I don't have to.
That is a fair thing to like about it.
60-card Islands. I'll always beat it. I like that. Okay. We evaluating the meta. Thoughts on Death and Taxes. There's not a whole lot to tax right now. There's a lot of fair strategies, which means that Death and Taxes doesn't strike me as being
it loses its power.
super good right now. Not to say that it's particularly bad, but the format's significantly less degenerate than it was previously, so I'm not sure how much I want to rely on Death and Taxes currently.
You just have to think, what is Thalia actually hitting that you care about? Like, what is it making
a
them
Traverse,
pay one more on?
Kolagon's Command, like, I don't know. You think Infect is underestimated right now? I actually completely agree, only because Infect is wildly unplayed when it didn't actually get hit nearly as bad as people assume.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's amazing. I don't think it's like a top contender, but I think it's better than the 0 play it currently has. What about Eldrazi-tron? Chalices are cool. Also, what? I never thought I would say that my modern deck runs Basilisk Caller. I can tell you that.
No.
What was the banned part about Nightfall? Twin.
So, should we explain the whole thing here?
It was a deck that was beautiful and based around 4 different combos. You got to run Bounding Krasis. You got to run You ran Knight of the Reliquary, plus you ran Retreat to Coralhelm for that combo. You ran Splinter Twin and Bounding Krasis for that combo. Plus, you ran a Dryad Arbor, so that you could fetch for a Dryad Arbor with a Retreat to Coralhelm out, put the Splinter Twin onto the Dryad Arbor, and go off and kill them with
Dryad Arbors.
with infinite lands.
4 combos, 1 deck. We broke it.
It was so sweet. We put in one prototype version of it, and it crushed. And then it got banned the next week. Oh, man. Neurotoxina, I missed me on the stream as well. It's good to be back.
Missed me on the stream as well.
I did. I actually did. 5-color Bring to Light Gifts Tron. Anyone who's bold enough to do that is clearly cooler than me.
They're probably playing a Wargate.
Are you playing a Wargate? Yeah? Yeah.
Gotcha.
What do I like about 5-color Bring to Light Gifts Tron? I like that person's ambitious. That person is far more ambitious. I'm just a guy who wants to sling bolts. Bring to Light Gifts Tron.
That is an interesting deck.
Oh, man. It's just... It's like Oath of Nissa / Prismatic Omen. Like, it's just...
No, you just play Chromatic Lantern.
Austin the Nerd, what were you playing? Congratulations on your 3-1. Mono Blue Tron is ridiculously hard to play, and it's beautiful because it's a control deck that has found a way to hedge against the fact that most current control decks have, which is actually their counterspells get weaker as the game goes on. Mono Blue Tron is fantastic because it's found a way to counter that. What I like about Jeskai Sensei, that I get to take a nap in the middle of an event. That's pretty nice.
See, Codester, what happened is the other player kept the hand based on the fact it had a Stone Science and Kataki, and nothing else. And that's how you lose a game.
Yep. I mean, Eggs is better than it's assumed to be.
Yeah.
Well, I guess actually not anymore. The last, I don't know,
Name
two
is
to...
Teal Green.
The last two to Neurotoxina?
Yes.
The last 2 to 3 weeks have been
That's what I
very
played
much,
at the GP, so I feel you.
Yeah. Overall, I think the rules change is actually... Like, it's unfortunate. but I think it's good. Only in that it's changing the rules not to, like, to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Having the rules make sense is pretty cool. They found a way to counter that. I don't really get the joke that you just made. Huh. What do I like about Glittering Wish? I like that you play it, and I miss you, Jesse. Also, it's a mid-range deck that runs Supreme Verdict in the sideboard, so that's pretty sweet.
So the rule change with split cards is now the converted mana cost is equal to the combined total of the two sides.
Yes.
Okay.
You can no longer expertise into breaking and entering.
You can't, unfortunately.
You just built it. On the bright side, most of the deck is going to retain its price because it was already played in a similar thing, and the deck never really skyrocketed in price as a direct result of this deck, as opposed to another deck. And most of the pieces that are in it that are now functionally unplayable are not that much worse. It's dumb? No, actually, I think it's brilliant. I get that it's super unfortunate. It's unfortunate, right? It's sad. It's sad because decks are now, like, people built that and it doesn't work. But, like, the truth of it is that it's actually what the rules should have always been. The fact that it worked that way was wildly unintuitive. What are my thoughts on Blue Moon with Thing in the Ice? It's probably reasonable. I kind of like that. It seems kind of fun. I haven't played around with it too much, though. Okay. Let's see. About Mono Blue Tron, you said they found a way to make their counterspells better as the game went on? Oh, gotcha. Okay, I hear your joke. I hear your joke now. Nice suit. Thank you so much. You Coriborn. Thank you. I appreciate that. I also enjoy wearing this. You look good, you feel good, right? Okay, so basically shout out for Legacy or don't play the $160 that you...
Do I have us a match?
It's a lot on Emeralds. You can use Emeralds lots of places.
It
It is unfortunate,
It'll
though.
be a minute. They're still rearranging.
That's okay. Is this round 2?
Yes, it is round 2.
Tell me more about round 2 and tell me about what we have.
Which side are you going to sit on so I can tell? You're going to be on the wall?
That sounds like Steven.
It is Steven. His opponent is Peter.
You're so good to me. I didn't even have to... Oh, that's a sweet matchup.
That's what I thought.
Nice. So we're kicking things off with Jund against Skred. Now, this is actually a pretty cool matchup. They're two mid-rangey decks, and like that's really what Skred is. It's a very mid-rangey that moves into control, whereas, I guess, mid-range is basically the combination of aggro and control. Sure?
Yeah.
Like-
It tries to find a balance in between.
Exactly. So if you think, like, Jund is a little bit of a more aggressive one, but Skred has actually got a lot of really cool tools for it.
Mm-hmm.
The big issue is that Tarmogoyf becomes the one problematic creature. Now, there are tools for it in mainboard Relic of Regendus. There are all kinds of stuff in this.
I mean, Skred itself can kill a medium-sized Tarmogoyf.
Exactly. But it means they only have, like, 8 answers in the main deck, which is a lot. But, I mean, overall, I think that Skred is sweet. I think that it is favored in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But Jund is not dead in the water,
No,
so to speak.
this is going to be a fight.
And especially a competitor like Peter, who is generally just a fantastic competitor. So, let's get ready. Let's get ready for round 2. We will see you down there. I do think that Blue Moon with Torrential Gearhulk is correct.
Yeah. That might be what I try and work towards. I was also looking at maybe trying Jund.
I have your Rage Ravines.
You do. I returned the sudden shock there.
Finally. From like what, GP Fort Worth?
Maybe.
So-
It was, because that's where I played the Jeskai aggro.
Oh man.
Hello, Spammy.
What's
It
up,
was
Frosty
well.
the Giant? That is your Skred deck. Hey, Spammy, it's good to see ya. Thoughts on Elves? Deck is sweet. It's also really favored against stuff.
I mean, Peter now knows exactly what he's against, because a snow-covered mountain has
Yep.
come down.
Yeah, old school snow-covered mountain, by the way. Gotta love that.
My snow-covered mountains have dragons on them.
Is this okay? So a Mind Stone. So Steven getting up to potential 4 mana next turn,
Turn
which
3
is
Koth.
pretty solid. Like a turn 3 Koth is just a house. He's also got the Blood Moon in hand. Peter, we'll see how he tries to fetch here.
I assume he's going for basic. He's got to know that Blood Moon is... Huh?
Your money is on Scred. Oh, it's got main deck Blood Moons.
Yes. Scred runs main deck Blood Moons. And as one who has cast many a main deck Blood Moon, it's
And
pretty sweet.
So Peter, I kind of like this. He's probably going for this Stomping Ground as a way to where he's
He
expecting
has a
it-
forest in hand.
Exactly. He's probably prepared for this to be a mountain. But
Yep.
it's better if it's not. Going for another fetch land, we might actually end up going for a basic
Probably
swamp here. Strikes me as the play.
Yep.
Nice. Peter's
ready for
lining
this.
this up really nicely. Oh, man. Spammy, I love. It's 3 in the main, 1 in the side. Oh, you have an extra one on the sideboard? That's interesting. Scavenging Ooze coming down. It's not going to have a whole lot of targets in this matchup early on unless
I mean,
Peter's the one playing the
it's
threats.
a bear that can put pressure.
It's just a bear. You're right. But in a deck that's also running potentially Magma Jet.
Mind Stone, Blood Moon.
Yep. So Steven would be cutting off green mana if Peter didn't already have the basic forest in hand, but this is actually still fairly relevant. Remember that Peter now cannot cast a Liliana of the Veil, which is a pretty relevant card in this matchup.
Yeah.
It also does shut down something like a Kalidas, which, if he is running any of those at the moment, can also be pretty impressive. So, I think that Peter is okay, but I don't think that he's out of the woods from this Blood Moon. I think
Yeah.
playing the Blood Moon was still correct,
Yeah.
even with all that information.
I mean, you play it even if they fetch for basics because it turns off any other fetches they draw. They're just mountains. Like,
Yeah. Now, Steven may have kept this hand. We might see him pop in one of these Mind Stones fairly soon. And he actually, yeah, so he's going to use one Mind Stone to pop the other one. Looking for a threat. Finds a mountain. Has an Anger of the Gods. Casting the Anger actually
Seems
looks
pretty good right now.
really solid right now. Stopping the Stark Confidant, but it may not be an Anger. If it is an Anger, I would
I
expect
mean,
it to
even a Pyroclasm.
most don't run Pyroclasm. Some of them occasionally do.
Peter doing his Peter thing of showing a land to Bob.
You love Steven's card choices? That would actually be Frosty Giant in chat. I believe it is their Scred deck. So, attack for 4. We're going to be down to 14.
And yes, Peter's deck is all foil all the time.
Yes. It's a classic. It is Anger. I'm a little bit surprised that Steven didn't cast that.
He wants more.
He wants more. I usually would take a 2-for-1 when I have a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
But if you're able to get more out of this, I don't know. But like having a Tarmogoyf get played here would be unfortunate. Maybe he's specking around a Huntmaster.
That's true.
So
Does
I mean,
he have
if
something he's going to be doing on the end of Peter's turn? Is that
no,
why he was holding something up?
nope. Well, almost certain. Not that I've seen. I guess it is possible he has something like a Magma Jet, which would help set up the future plays. Also might help him dig in with the Mind Stone a little bit. But I think the real thought here, said okay, thank you so much. 6 months, thank you so very much. All the previous 12 were medium. But thank you so much for the support. It's awesome having you here.
Goyf.
So
That
it is
is
the Goyf. A relic here would be
it's
probably
a
the best case scenario.
2-3 currently, but it'll be a 3-4 upon Anger's resolution, so Anger does not kill it.
Mm-hmm.
The feels.
Actually, I think it's already a... oh, no,
No,
that's
the
two fetch
There's
lands.
lands and artifact.
You're right. And the Anger
Is he going
will
to get
not
him with the
kill.
rule?
Possibly.
Because that's one of the things.
We might also see Steven pop the Mind Stone. He's got enough lands in hand. And if he can find a Scred, then he can still sweep this board up. But you don't really want to play the Piankir Nalar right now because of this. So I might pop the Mind Stone to try and see what options that I have. I might still cast it. Just to start getting hit by a 3-4. But I don't know, possibly, and you know, things may not have been too different. It looks like that is the intent here. A Scred would be best case scenario.
Mind
Find
Stone for
another
Mind Stone.
You could just go for okay, so
Alright.
his intent is not to cast this Anger of the Gods, and maybe to just let this Dark Confidant do some work. One thing to note is that this Tarmogoyf is still a 2-3, so Steven can actually full on block it. And that might also be the intent. Or if Peter attacks, Steven might just put all the creatures in front of it. No longer an option.
Now you got instant creature in the yard.
It's now a 4/5.
Yep.
It's a 4/5 that it will become a 5/6 with the attack. We see
Raging Ravine.
Classic Peter. Are we sure he has anger? That is 99% in anger. But
1% not.
possibly not. I mean, I probably would not have cast anger last turn if I had it. So it still does seem reasonable. Because the upside of the Pinkir Nalar blowout is really nice.
Do you just chump? Yep.
I think I would double block the Scavenging Ooze. Actually, with no... Well, there's one creature in the graveyard, so your anger is still going to kill it, so maybe I don't worry about trading it. Because actually, Peter would just activate the Scavenging Ooze and beat them anyway.
Yeah.
And then you would take the damage. So Steven's just staying there.
Chandra.
Can he do it all? I don't think so. That's a shame.
If you hadn't crafted a Mind Stone.
Then he wouldn't have found that.
I know.
Chandra. Interesting that he... I
Now
guess
you can take 2 red off Chandra.
Yep.
So you can do it all.
He is going to end up potentially losing the Chandra. Because Peter can just attack that, but it does make it into a fog for the turn. And we'll see if Peter decides to just gain the 1 life to try and do this. We also could see a play like Peter abrupt decaying his Scavenging Ooze. Oh no, he doesn't have enough mana for that because of the Blood Moon.
Yeah.
Doesn't have enough green. He's only got the singular green, so he can't eat 2 creatures this turn. Peter's sitting on 3 red mana, a black mana, and a green mana. So possibly a little bit too late. I think Steven was just hedging on if he doesn't play a Tarmogoyf, holding onto the anger for a turn looks great. And he did play the Tarmogoyf. And he may have just been assuming that, if he had the Tarmogoyf, he would have played it instead of the Scavenging Ooze or the Dark Confidant. And it's not unreasonable to think that Peter drew into that Tarmogoyf afterward.
Mm-hmm.
So Steven may have just been thinking, he probably doesn't have it in hand. He probably would have cast it.
Yeah.
And if I can get something like a Huntmaster, which he may be building up to, then that would just be a complete blowout.
Yeah. If you can catch him with that.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is now this Tarmogoyf is going to be a 5/6. Staring down.
The Tarmogoyf is going to be a 5/6, which could very much kill the Chandra. Also, if...
Fatal Push, his own Bob to eat it.
But he doesn't have
can only eat
enough
1.
green. Oh, he just wants to be able to get it back with a Kolaghan's Command.
Gotcha. That's fair.
That's a cool play, actually. I think Peter's hedging on a Kolaghan's Command to get back this Dark Confidant, which is like a remarkably
he could
cool
have the command
play.
in his hand, and then he can get rid of the Mind Stone, get back, or do you do 2 damage to Chandra, or 2 to the face?
I would just attack with a Tarmogoyf and kill Chandra.
Yeah.
Because
So you
otherwise
get-
that Chandra makes...
I get rid of the
lightning
Mind
bolt.
Stone because that's another draw.
Oh, with the Kolaghan's
Yeah, you
Command?
can get rid of the Mind Stone and get back Bob.
I would-
And play Bob? No, you need the black.
I would probably get rid of the Mind Stone because they're both the same as far as getting a card out of Steven's hand.
Yep.
But one keeps him theoretically off of a little bit extra mana.
Mm-hmm. Or just Abrupt Decay, the Blood Moon, and go to town.
Losing Chandra for nothing? It was a bit odd to not just cast the Anger. But... That's okay. Because he could have done that, taken the 5, fallen to 9, or I guess the 6. Oh no, because the Chandra wouldn't be dead, so fall to 9, and a Lightning Bolt suddenly becomes lethal in that Tarmogoyf.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that, strikes me as potentially the play.
Kolaghan's Command, discard a card. Okay.
It is just the discard. Hitting the Mind Stone is functionally similar. They're about the same.
Mm-hmm. Relic, that's really good.
Relic is excellent. I might redraw now.
I would definitely do that now. Pop it now. Tarmogoyf becomes...
He's
nothing.
actually, because if he draws into like a Scred or a Lightning Bolt, he can cast the Lightning Bolt first, and it prevents Peter from doing any, like, unfeasible
Any
but
shenanigans?
potential shenanigans, because you would just pop that, and before anything else happen, exile it, and then before any spells can cast, your state-based actions get
Targeting him,
checked.
exile a card from your graveyard, and then do it.
Nice. Classy move. and I believe that was the Bolt and the Scred. I would cast it sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
possibly in response to some of this stuff, however.
Right now.
I would Bolt Face and kill the Tarmogoyf. Just put him down to 15. Okay, so you're just going to let him Inquisition it instead of casting it at the face. And I think he may have just noticed that. Jam 5, thank you so much. Hats or suits? Suits on a regular day. Suits on a regular... Oh.
Hats are a vacation thing.
Suits are amazing. Jam 5, thank you so much for the sub. 2 months in a row. But, like, I love suits.
And
I would wear a suit every day of
there's
the
the
week.
Huntmaster.
Man, bet you wish you had that anger. Should have saved it. Peter is really looking like he's going to take this game. He's up to 20. Steven's down to 6 after the 2 damage and then the hit.
This is not looking good.
Yeah, I think the
play
2
a Taps
things that
Mountain.
Steven did
It's
a
always
little
good.
bit off is the anger, which I actually don't entirely disagree with, but in retrospect was problematic, was holding off on the Anger of the Gods. But then the other play that just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me was the Chandra. Could have just held it in hand for a later turn and actually may have had a pretty decent impact on this board with...
Maelstrom Pulse.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then just attack with...
Jund takes it. Classic Jund.
mm-hmm.
How do you beat him? He Junded him.
Junded him out. But yeah, because he may have been able to use the 4 damage from that Tarmogoyf and, you know, used the Scred in one place or even had that Lightning Bolt up as well. And then Peter Inquisitions takes away one of them. But then he's able to actually sweep the board of the Huntmaster using the Chandra potentially, or use the Lightning Bolt to clear it out anyway. Okay.
One for the front side, one for the back side.
Does he really use... Oh, yeah, he does. Putrefaction, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub.
4
And
months in a
thank you
row.
to everybody else who has been subscribing. It is entirely kind of you and amazing of you and awesome of you to subscribe to this channel and to help us out and to give that support and to get those emotes and to get just the fact that you're amazing and awesome and helping us do what we do. Thank you for the support in every way possible.
Pulling out the spell bombs. Oh, but they're so good.
They're so good. They're so good. But thank you, everybody. Thank you so, so, so very much. Whether you're watching or subbing or modding or just listening with your ears. Whatever it is, you're great and amazing. And you know what?
What?
I like you guys. And gals. You're all great. Okay. Let's see here. Take a breath. That ain't my thing, Jin returned. That ain't my thing. You
Can't
see,
confirm. T2 doesn't breathe.
I'm beginning to feel like a rap deity. Rap deity.
What would you rhyme with that?
All the people from front to the back pay for it. Mountain Spires, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure having you here. Fealty's good though.
It
Give me
is.
that one.
Well done.
How does Classic Jund match up against Death Shadow Jund? It's interesting. In theory, one thought is that Jund is better because it has a plethora of removal and it grinds better, which is what the matchup eventually becomes. But the flip side to that is that they are running a lot more land, which can be problematic. But I think my edge goes to Classic Jund just because they've got the Abrupt Decays, and they just grind so much better. Why don't people play constructed events sleeveless still? Because as
cost more.
Well, that and as cards wear over time, the back of each card becomes significantly more distinctive, especially when you are playing with multiple years worth of cards. And so it's not worth getting disqualified while you technically can do it. If any of your cards are different in any way remotely
You
whatsoever,
can be called for counter.
you'll
for
get
marking
disqualified
cards.
from the event for marking cards. And so it's a much safer, much wiser, and actually just protects the cards better to sleeve them up. In Italy, it's 5:02 a.m., but you love watching the stream. Thanks, Jin Returned. I love it when you watch the stream. Also, I hope Italy's lovely today.
Me too. I mean, I assume Italy is always nice. In my head, at least, the picture of Italy is like, you know, sunny,
Just beautiful.
but not too warm. You know.
No. Crisp is what I'd describe
There
the
you go.
weather. In Italy, in my mind, of course. I would love to go to Italy, though. I would love to go to Italy. It is my... Like, I have had a dream since like 18 to just go backpacking Europe for like a month. Maybe like 2 weeks to a month. And I still
money,
intend to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have got a mountain from Steven, who is on the play because Peter took game 1.
Never double sleeve. Don't know what you're playing.
It's true. Okay.
Still bugs me.
He nailed you.
I was like, no.
Fun fact, he sat down across from Patrick Chapin and goes, Patrick just goes, you double sleeved. Must be on blue-red.
I was playing Blue Moon, and I'm like, no.
Oh, man. It was amazing.
It was awful.
It was amazing. So a double mountain out for Steven. And Peter likely could be going for a basic. Depends on what's in his hand. But a basic forest is not out
I'm
of the question.
betting a
here.
basic land comes out of this if he doesn't have. There you go.
Could be looking at a... Tarmogoyf is really bad here, actually. It dies to removal. I probably wouldn't play that.
His deck was single sleeved, and he pulled it unboxed out of his pocket. Just boop! Just the loose cards. Just there you go.
Man, it was beautiful. Alright, and a Skred is just going to take down the Dark Confidant. Steven not going to play around with that one at all. Scrying Sheets is actually super good. Probably going to activate at the next end step if he is capable
Trying
of
to
it.
get himself a land here.
Exactly. He does have a Relic in hand as well as a Skred, so he's capable of answering a lot of these creatures. 3 mana is a little bit interesting. Could be a Kitchen Finks. Oh no, it's a Liliana.
That seems good.
He does have a Lightning Bolt.
Everybody discard.
I would probably just discard and then activate the Scrying Sheets again and try and regroup with the next turn. It's a risky play to drop the mountain, but I think he's got another one in hand.
Gonna activate scrying sheets. Draw him out.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Now who has to discard? Not me. No, he's got a lot of mountains in hand. He's fine. Might actually just be okay with the ult as well.
That's always good. When the
Lands
ult
or
happens, you're
mountains.
like, whatever.
What a great name. Thank you so much for joining. That's a phenomenal name. Oh, goodness. Feared Monkey, hello, it's good to see you. You don't understand single sleeving? I actually do just do single sleeving. I have not double sleeved anything, ever.
I have. I don't need more.
So the Skred takes down the Tarmogoyf, and then we're going to go for the Scrying Sheets. He may not realize that
He
that's
doesn't
a
have
look
to
at.
reveal.
I bet,
You only have to reveal if you take it.
honestly, he's probably just about to jam that one in and knock the Liliana down to 1, though.
I mean, that's what I would do.
But after this game, you probably want to mention that it's luck.
Yeah. I mean, he is free to reveal the card he draws. There's no rule against that.
Could just tell him what it is. Yeah. After the game / match, you probably want to mention that.
After, I will mention it next time I'm out there.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Liliana at 1 means that it's not going to die to a whole lot. Also remember that Peter's only removal spell in the whole deck that answers this cleanly is either Bolt Kolagon's Command or Terminate. Feared Monkey, how do I feel about it? I think that it is unfortunate for people. It is unfortunate for the people who are affected by it. But it's probably the right call. It's the way that it should have been from the start.
Yeah.
The only unfortunate thing is that it took so long so that people built decks based around that. But the rules change itself should be that way. It just...
I mean, I understand the original one because the split cards were considered 2 different spells. Mm-hmm. Like 2 different cards, essentially. So.
Okay. So what do we have
What is
here?
Steven looking for?
I don't know.
Or is he just bored and rearranging the tokens?
You never know. You never know. In Anger going away, the second Liliana going away. Does Peter have the Terminate potentially? It strikes me as that he might have.
I mean, if you've ever been on the receiving end of someone casting one half and getting to cast the other half for free, like it feels awful.
Yeah. So we're just going to try and kill that. It is the Terminate in hand.
I would bolt Liliana now.
I would likely bolt Liliana now as well. I do like that he tried to get in the damage there, though. Melvin, thank you so much.
I approve. Blue mage is cool. Red mage is drool.
Thank you so much for the support, Melvin.
Huntmaster.
It's great
after
having
he
you.
discarded the anger. Oh, the feels.
Why is he playing, why is he trading? That's actually a binder that is loaded up with tokens.
Is that a second Stormbreath Dragon that he just drew?
Classic. Oh, classic.
Heard you like dragons.
So, down to 16 after he gained 2 from the Huntmaster. We might see him just pass the turn back and then try and use a Lightning Bolt to close this out.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't been relicking his opponent, though.
Okay. Why not make him discard before bolting Lily? Seems like a reasonable way to go about it. Seems like a reasonable way to do it. So pass it back. Steven falls to 14. After these hits, does have the ability to make
You're
this
upkeep.
monstrous.
Something.
A land
Blood Moon.
makes this monstrous.
Blood Moon doesn't make it monstrous.
Osmar, thank you so much for hitting that fall button. Right? That was a fall. Yes, thank you so
I
much
would
for
have
joining.
popped Relic a bit ago.
I
I don't know. He's
he
not,
only could have done that last turn, really.
I mean, he's not using it, so.
Chromatic Blast, thank you so much for the sub. You're amazing and awesome. Kolagon's command is going to deal 2 damage to that. Now, this is after the Huntmaster already dealt 2 damage to it. And going to have him discard a card. Activating the Scrying Sheets in response to try and keep the card in hand. This was at Steven's draw step, actually.
Yeah.
Isn't Peter doing the double face card illegal? No.
Nope.
Nope. As long as you have the cards, it is not at all illegal. You do not need the checklist card. Most people do it because that means they don't have to own 2 copies of the card if they're only running 1. But Peter does. So he's just using 2 copies of the card. Okay.
He didn't have mana to monsters.
He did not
was
have
one
the
short.
6th mana. The monsters cost 7. So not casting the Blood Moon is a little bit interesting. Oh, okay. It's just because he intends to do this.
To draw a card. He drew a land. He's channeling his inner Eric right now.
Classic. It's a smooth move. Anger is pretty big here. Does
Is
not
that
hit
another
it.
dragon?
No. I think that's a Molten Rain. Yeah, that's a Molten Rain. That's the new art for Molten Rain. Okay. There are no foil wolf tokens? I imagine that he is.
Play the land because you got it.
Play it if you got it. He could actually... the problem is that he's dead to a lot, but what he can do is Molten Rain, 1 land, and then Blood Moon.
Blood Moon. Flip it back. Flip the...
It turns it into a 2/2.
Yeah.
The problem is that actually puts him dead. Like, I actually don't want to do that because that actually puts me dead to Peter not casting a spell. Because
Yeah.
you take 6. Oh no, the wolf doesn't have haste, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Interesting. And we get another Molten Rain. So, Peter's going to take this one in 2. Alexis Bros, Steven is very new to the deck. And when I say very new, I mean excessively new. So, okay. Peter does need to put the extra card in a transparent sleeve. So actually, at any events where he does that, he'll almost always, like, I have seen him go and talk to the talk to the judges
judge. Yeah, he'll check with them.
to confirm with them. Like, you do it how you need to do it. Yep. All right, so that's gonna be the end of that matchup. Let's head on up. We're in round 2. We might have another one to go.
I'm sure I can find a match.
Also mention that that's not a strict
I will
reveal.
let him know.
We'll see you up there, everybody. Hello and thank you for joining. My name's TJ. It's a pleasure having you here. Ingenuity, it's a pleasure having you sub. Thank you so much for the support. That is amazing and awesome, and that is a sub using that Twitch Prime, which remember, anybody who is watching, you do get some of those ones for free. Anybody who does have Amazon Prime, in fact, has access to Twitch Prime for free, and then you get one free sub each and every month. Now, there's a lot of great streams out there, but hey, if you want to use it here, we're not going to complain, and we do enjoy that. It helps us do what we do. But is anybody that playing Amulet Titan? Possibly. We do have someone who is who plays that. I'm not sure if he's in the store right now. His name is Sam, and he also plays 8-Rack occasionally. So if he is here, it's a matter of is he playing that deck list, as well as is he here. Would also love to see the new Storm lists. We do actually have a decent amount of those in the store as well. Again, not certain about this day in particular, but that's definitely something to where if you watch the stream on the Wednesdays and the Saturdays that we do Modern, plus we do Legacy on Fridays, so your secret plug there, you will likely see those decks.
So everyone's in games. Steven is keeping his eyes peeled.
Is he?
I watched him, like, rip them open.
Wow, that's
It
impressive.
was metal.
Is Obzon midrange good in the meta right now?
Oh, he said the reveal was to establish dominance. That's why he did it.
Oh! It didn't work.
I mean, he attempted.
Is Obzon midrange good in the meta right now? It's okay. But, like,
awful.
it's really solid if you're expecting Jund to make a comeback, which many people are speculating that it is. Too many lanes, you must be a friend of Eric's. It's a pleasure having you here.
Been there.
If you're speculating that Jund is going to be getting better, which many are because of the resurgence of Death Shadow, which it can prey upon, and actually the fact that Death Shadow has been really capitalizing on hating out Tron, which is a Predator, as well as like the Titan Shift decks. As those get worse, Jund gets better. Now if Jund gets better, Obzon gets better. So it is a reasonable spec to really improve currently. Saturdays are a regular event now? They always have been.
Forever.
Yeah, actually they were the second event that we ever added. No, they were the first. Saturdays were the very first event that we ever did here. Let's see here. Woo!
I think he's talking about the reveal for dominance.
Inner GG Plus. Very nice. Oh, congratulations on your 5-5. Ooh. That is awesome. Oh man, good to know. That's a trick using script next time.
This is what I'm drawing. It's going to beat you.
Yes. Ah, goodness. Your main was... Oh, okay. Okay. You were a follower already. You just have 2 accounts and got a new iMac and you forgot all your old passwords and stuff. Reasonable. It's reasonable.
I've been there.
Yeah, you got flooded with accounts. Okay.
First, you should totally foil your vintage deck first.
Yep. Doro, I agree that Jund is likely underrated right now. Only because people claim that Jund was dead. And if there's one thing that I've
it's
ever
not dead.
learned, Jund is never dead. Ever. If people tell you, no, Jund's not good at all right now, they're wrong. You know why? Because we have all of Modern to prove the fact that every single time that Jund has been bad, it wasn't. It was never bad. Jund has never, ever been bad. It lost Deathrite, it lost Bloodbraid, it was totally devastated, and then it crushed. It lost everything, and then it crushed. It was bad, it was crushed. It was a totally bad spot in the meta with Tron and Scape Shift everywhere. Well, it was going to crush anyway. Like, Junds. And that's all that it does.
Weird. Removal, discard, and big creatures.
Ooh, we got to knock on the door.
I've got something spicy.
Oh, good.
Dang, I like spice.
We've got Ian on the wall playing Enduring Ideal.
You didn't highlight very good.
And then we've got Patrick on the not wall.
That makes sense.
Black, white, aristocrats. Kind of, they're going to game 3.
Nice. You know what deck would be great against this?
I believe Ian is on the play. What?
Ian's on the
Game
way.
3?
Ian is on the play.
Enduring
Game 3.
Ideal.
During ideal. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
sir.
That is delightful. All right. How do you feel about this matchup? Do you have any thoughts?
No.
Okay. So here's my thoughts. Enduring Ideal is built to capitalize on keeping the opponent from attacking.
Yeah.
Now, that's really solid, except for the fact that...
Aristocrats doesn't care that much about.
Exactly. But it can also hate a lot on activated abilities, which Black White Aristocrats relies a lot on. So, if it's able to capitalize with any of those cards that hate out those abilities, that's going to be a really big thing, and that's really how the Enduring Ideal deck operates in general. It's got answers for everything if you draw them. That's kind of the way that it works. So I'm curious to see how this goes, but one notable thing is that the amount of life loss that comes out of this deck can do a lot because Ian has a lot of ways to prevent damage.
Not life loss.
Exactly. So I'll be curious.
Side note, you know what deck is really good against this Black-White Aristocrats?
What?
Little deck we brewed.
Yep. Another fun fact. You know what's really good against Phyrexian Unlife? Aristocrats. Anyway, we'll see you down there, Game 3. Okay, so they're good to go, and
Hello, Dana from Brazil.
hello. Hello. Yeah, Jund is great.
No, Jund just plays whatever when it wants.
Well, okay, so I think that part of the reason why people say that Jund is dead is because they'll look at a list and say that that's bad in the meta right now. But I think most of the Jund players that I know, or at least, like, I think most of the people who jam Jund consistently are very rarely playing the same 75 over the course of several weeks or months.
Yeah.
I think that, like, the ideal Jund deck box contains, 115 cards.
And you just pick the ones you want for that week.
Exactly. And you have, your core of, let's say,
Yeah,
40.
so saw the second card, so he shuffled.
Okay.
Got it. So he's just shuffling because he saw his second card off that scry, and then he's just going to keep it on top. Quick solution.
Do you want to explain Enduring Ideal to the people at home?
Yeah, Enduring Ideal is an epic spell. Once you cast it, you don't get to cast any more spells for the rest of the game, but you do get to cast that spell at the beginning of each upkeep. Now, right? Upkeep, not main phase?
Upkeep, I believe.
Anyway, Enduring Ideal says search your library for an enchantment and put it into play. So this deck will basically is just a prison deck. Yeah, it is the upkeep.
Okay, I was right. We were both right.
And you just cast that once per turn for the rest of the game. So Suppression Field is the exact card that he needed here. We'll talk about that combo as it comes up. Watch it to be Form of the Dragon, Phyrexian Unlife, and
God, Form of the Dragon's good.
what's the card that I'm looking for right now? It's the one
I
that
don't
puts a
remember all
no.
the cards in
It's
this deck. Rest in peace.
no. You actually don't. You actually can't have Rest in Peace for the full combo.
I mean, he just put it in play.
I know, but like the one that is it allows
Yeah.
you to discard a card from your hand to gain life. Peace of Mind. Peace
Yes.
of Mind. And then
I
you
don't
have a
remember the
land
combo
that
off
can
the top
put cards from your graveyard into your library. And that means that if you draw pieces of that combo, then you can actually recycle them back into the deck. But if you don't draw them, then you can just go for it that way. So, with a Rest in Peace against this deck, like, Ian is so favored to win right now. Rest in Peace means, and specifically, if a creature would go into the graveyard, or if a card would go into the graveyard, exile it instead. Now, it's a replacement effect, not a triggered ability. What that means is that any card that defines the act of dying, much like Blood Artist, never activates. Dying is the act of a card going from the battlefield, a creature going from the battlefield to the graveyard. If it never goes to the graveyard, it does not die as far as the rules are concerned. So Blood Artist is functionally a 0-1 for 2 right now with no triggered ability.
Makes you sad.
It makes you very sad. Now, Shambling Vent is now the only threat that Patrick has on the board, and that's going to be huge. And keep in mind,
Blood Artist can trigger Raid.
Blood Artist can trigger Raid. And then the Suppression Field, making each activated ability cost 2 more, is again huge, especially against a deck that might be running fetch lands. But making it to where any free sacrifice outlet, which these aristocrat decks are full to the teeth with, makes it to where they're actually unable to really fully function. Zulaport Cutthroat is better, right? Kind of. In a deck in which you would fully intend to be sacrificing only your things, it can be. But Blood Artist actually triggers on any creature, whereas Zulaport Cutthroat only focuses on creatures you control. Is the difference. You exchange that for 1 power, which is often good. Why not play Blood Moon and lock your opponent out of the game? They occasionally
He has it
do.
in his hand.
They occasionally do.
He does have it in his hand.
It is an enchantment, and it does often work out. He's got one
Now
planes.
he has a planes.
Now, one thing to keep in mind is that he wouldn't be able to cast Enduring Ideal, but the deck also runs an almost exorbitant amount of basic lands. So it will likely find them. But he may not fire it off for the meantime, so that he can ensure casting something like that Leyline of Sanctity, or that he can just continue to cast the spells until he hits another basic to be safe. Because he's not actually under any pressure at the moment. And it looks like that might be the case. Going for the Leyline, especially with the Nykthos, he now has access to 4 white mana.
Yeah.
So it could be that Ian is intending, because Blood Moon cuts off Nykthos. He only has 4 mana if he does so.
Yeah.
Whereas
Blood Moon hurts him as bad as, or worse than it hurts his opponent right now.
Keeping the Nykthos means that he actually currently has access to 5 mana, which means that he's a very short distance away from casting the Enduring Ideal to win.
Hello, Tarmac Orphan.
Hello! It's good to have you here. A Lingering Soul's coming out, that is fine. We're going to be up to 4 of these 1/1s. We do have the Zulaport Cutthroat and the Blood Artist out. It does mean that Patrick is now in the realm of being able to cast that card, which is underneath his Windbrisk Heights. It's going to matter what that card is, however. If that card's relevant, neat. Note, however, that will take Patrick's entire mana base.
Yep.
Which is also why we haven't seen him swing with the Shambling Fence. Because that actually is a land that costs him 5 to attack with currently.
Is Windbrisk, it's a triggered ability.
It is an activated ability.
Is
It is an activated ability that you can only use
when, okay, gotcha.
if 3 creatures have attacked this turn, yeah. Who is in this match is favored? I would say Enduring Ideal. The big thing is that Aristocrats has a lot of ability to do life loss, which gets around some of the lock pieces. But
well,
Enduring
that
Ideal
Windbrisk
has...
is not doing anything anymore.
Yep, the Blood Moon came down. Ian decided that he had enough going on.
I mean, Patrick has not an insubstantial board with the 4 spirits, but it's...
Yeah, it's definitely important to think that Ian needs to answer the 5 damage that's coming each turn.
Yeah.
But I would say that Enduring Ideal is potentially, like, Rest in Peace in the main deck is huge. Having access to Leyline in the main deck can be potentially huge against this strategy. Having access to, like, Prison effects in the main deck can be huge. There's a lot of things, so Ian's got all the right tools. The big thing that Patrick has, that if he's able to go off, he can actually get through some of the other pieces decently well. How do you get 4 spirits?
He cast 2 Lingering Souls.
Yeah.
O-Ring the Cutthroat. Okay.
Okay. Sure. He's got another Blood Moon in hand, but he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Ian is not nearly as locked into this one. Patrick's going for the classic. I guess I'll just turn him sideways.
Good old-fashioned magic.
Well,
Make
yeah.
creatures and turn them this way.
So now we're just playing standard.
Yep. Plays Mountain.
Classic.
I like it.
Yeah, Ian's looking for an answer, and actually he has not found one for some time. He's down to 9. He has 2 turns to find one.
Don't know what that is, but...
That was a land. Oh, no, that wasn't. No.
Another Blood Moon.
That's the spell that makes all your enchantments into creatures. That's the one from Theros that makes all your
what is the Starfield of
Yes,
Nyx
is that Starfield
something?
of Nyx? That is Starfield of Nyx.
Look at me knowing my Theros cards. Goodness.
And he's 1 land away from casting that.
Trinisphere. Ooh.
3 ball.
What does it cost? 3.
Actually, he's dead.
He is D.
Unless it's a board wipe. The Starfield isn't enough here.
Nope. They're flyers.
That is a Porphyry nodes. Not enough.
Who doesn't love good
So
Porphyry
Patrick takes it with just good old-fashioned swinging. Took a deck which was based around doing all the unfair things, and Ian just said,
I'm going to
no.
make 1/1s and attack with them.
And Patrick, it was Origins. Yeah, that was my bad. I remember.
That makes it even more impressive to me that I remembered it.
Thank you, everybody, for correcting me on a detail that didn't matter. We got there. Man, unfortunate. Unfortunate, but hey, fair magic sometimes gets there.
What's fair magic?
Not that you know. You're too busy putting in turn 3 Simian Spirit Guides off of
That is
breaking
power, sir. Y'all should fear that.
Oh, man. All right. We'll see you up there, and we've got, I think, a good amount of time, so we'll
8
see
minutes
if
left.
Steven... Oh, actually, with only 8 minutes left, maybe we'll do a little bit of fun or fail.
Let's do fun.
We'll see you up there. Hello and welcome to Geek Fortress Stream. My name's TJ.
I'm Eric.
And we're streaming out of Geek Fortress located in Snohomish, Washington, which you can also find at geekfortressgames.com as seen on the Wizards article today.
Ooh.
Talking about event reporting, they did in fact cite the Geek Fortress event page, which can be found at geekfortressgames.com.
That's
Just
exciting.
saying. It is exciting and it's awesome, and you can also check it out, buy some stuff, help support the shop, which provides things like this.
If you request, Dylan will kiss every card he sends you.
It's true. And now I know what I'm gonna do every time that I buy cards from the shop.
Get them mailed to you.
No, I'll do pickup, but I
pretty-
want them in person. So we're gonna play Fun or Fail. It's where we look at this card, and all we do is we decide if is the card fun or fail. No middle ground. Is this card a fun or a fail to you?
That's a fun.
I think this card is also fun. I think it's reasonable. It's a solid flyer, and it does a little bit of everything when you need it. It's also reach in a twisted way. Also the art.
It's one of those that I'm never disappointed to play in a limited deck.
I mean, the art should be on the album of 10,000 Fists in the Air, but whatever. Tower of Murmurs. I'm gonna say fail here.
Fun.
Really? I'm gonna say fail. This card's just awful. It's not good at what it does. It's completely... I mean, sorry. In limited, this card is straight busted.
Yeah.
Okay, is he cool?
Oh, and it looks like we're actually already into next round.
Uh-oh.
Maybe not. Alright, I think he's finding a match for us.
So it's me and Paul.
Okay.
I don't know what he's playing.
Okay. You go find
I'm
out.
gonna go
you.
find out what he's playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Blood Harpy that mixed with cards that returned a target creature to your hand. I suppose, yeah. Tarmac Orphan. I suppose that is true. Alright, so we've got Patrick versus... Or not Patrick. Sorry, we're going to have Paul.
Paul is on Titan Shift.
And he's up against Coleman.
Yeah.
And which of Coleman's
He's on the blue-white.
Blue-Eye Control?
Yeah.
So he's going to get stomped, huh?
Yeah.
Actually, maybe not. Condescend is quite a card.
True, but
Well,
Titan
is
Shift is...
Is he on Titan Breach or Titan Shift?
He said Titan Shift, is what he told me.
Then he's actually probably okay. So Coleman's blue-white control deck is a little bit traditional. It's pretty similar to, I mean, it's running main deck Condescend, so it's actually kind of tuned to beat Death Shadow.
Yeah.
Is the main benefit that you get from that card, because it can actually kill multiple Death Shadows. And when the deck only runs a few ways of actually applying 8 actual threat cards, then being able to kill 2 of them at once is fairly
Death
significant.
Shadow makes a lot of things weird, like watching Bryce at the GP say, what's the card? Crap. The Escalate white card.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you gain 4 life.
Yeah. Sacrifice
Death
a creature
Shadow.
and you gain 4 life. Blessed Alliance.
Yeah, Blessed Alliance. Gosh, I can't believe I forgot that.
I don't know.
Yes,
That's
he's
okay.
like, you gain 4 life. And his opponent's like, what?
Okay. Hey, chat and casters. Which foil do you prefer? None of them. All right.
I'm not really a foil guy.
I don't play foils. However, if I were to get a foil, I would probably get... I like Russian a lot, and I like German a lot. I like French, too.
I think he means condemn. not condescend.
French, Italian, German, Russian. Which... With...
Now he's just saying, you broke
I know.
TJ. Now he's just saying languages.
I know.
All right, we're going to head down to the match.
Yes, we'll see you there. So blue-white control versus Titan Shift. Let's get that clock restarted. Moral of the story, TJ likes everything. I suppose.
It's not wrong.
I suppose. Carl, you're not supposed to kill people. Is that what I was doing? Because I made a mistake.
Stab it.
My tummy had the rumblies that only hands could satisfy.
Floodistran.
Classic.
Power play.
Looks like Coleman already flooded, but Paul is going to take a walk through the wooded foothills. Being on Titan Shift, really powerful up against these blue-white control strategies because they have so many powerful plays, and the Ram strategy is so potent.
Forest, Security Builder?
Note the white border full art. This is a purposeful white bordering.
It is.
I love
He
it.
erased the border. This is designed to put everyone on tilt.
And starting off with a Search for Tomorrow, it's the ideal turn 1 play for Paul. This is going to have 2 suspend counters. On his 3rd turn, he's going to actually have 4 lands already.
And Coleman now knows who he's against. Guaranteed.
Very likely does.
I mean, a suspended Search for Tomorrow.
We might see him
skip
cast a
shift
Logic
deck.
Knot on this, just exiling the 1 land. Yep.
I like it.
On a Colony Heart Expedition 2, this is a somewhat older list. Colony Heart Expedition, generally popular. It's one of the more controversial cards in the deck because it is so powerful, but it is also among the more inconsistent. I'd make it, man, Salt ain't what
Coleman's
I do.
are also intentionally white border just to make everyone mad.
It's pretty funny. Man, I just don't get salty about stuff. I don't know. It just doesn't compute for me. Coleman has got the deadest of dead Tyler reinforcements in hand right now.
I mean, you would get creatures.
No, he just sacked the Sakura Trifolder.
That's true.
It's brilliant.
It literally does nothing.
Oh man, that is just delightful. So Coleman's
That's
got
fun.
a just abysmal card here. Going to cast a Serum Visions, draws the card, takes a look at the scry here. Does have a Think Twice and a basic Forest. If he's going to keep that, and I think he put basic Forest, then the Think Twice. So I think he's intending on holding up Cryptic next turn and trying to line that
I
one
don't
up.
think it was a basic forest. Or was it?
I'm sorry, it's a basic island.
I was going
My
to say.
bad. My bad. Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is a very draw-go strategy.
He's got an 18-turn clock facing him down on the other side right now.
And he's actually holding his primary win condition in hand, which is that secure the wastes. So, we're going to take a look. Yeah, it is that basic... Oh, it's a Serum Visions and Think Twice. Puts the one on bottom.
He
keeps
drew the
this-
land and...
Yeah.
There we go.
So now he's got the land and keeps the Think Twice, puts the Serum on bottom? Was that right? Or did he put the
Something.
Think Twice on bottom? Kept one of them.
He put one of them on bottom.
Okay. He actually doesn't bend his cards much at all.
No.
Also, cards don't warp from just slightly bending them. They're designed not to.
They've seen people play with their cards.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently you all broke me. I'm saying y'all now.
Spent
Two-
4 days in Texas. Almost fine.
And Paul is pretty close to functionally winning here. This is likely going to go for probably a Mountain and a Valakut,
Yep.
because that means that land drops are now just how you win. Every land deals 3 damage. Each land deals 6 damage, and Coleman is at 18. So, Coleman's pretty close to dead right now. In fact, almost entirely dead. If he gets to attack with this Primeval Titan, he's going to go for another Valakut and a Mountain.
Yeah.
That Mountain is actually going to deal 9 damage in addition to this, and then any land drop is just going to deal the final lethal amount of damage. So next turn, Paul, with a fetch land in hand, could just attack. If he gets it, he actually has lethal on board. Otherwise, he's got the 3 lands that he needs in hand.
Yeah.
Paul is so close to winning that Coleman needs to find something absolutely miraculous, which is unlikely.
So
Any
he
ramp
sweeps,
spells.
which gets rid of the Titan, but that's not going to... Writing's on the wall here.
And we're going to dome him for 6. He's down to 12, and we're just going to play a little bit of that.
Oh,
Now who's on
that
Drago?
Timely is not dead anymore.
Timely not dead anymore. You're right, it does buy him 1 extra turn, actually. With the fetch land out as well,
Gifts.
Paul could also, funnily enough, get a Mountain and hit himself. He shouldn't, but it's funny.
I mean, you can hit yourself with one of them, and no, you have to hit it with both because they both have to resolve before they. That's just unfortunate.
Does Tech Edge do anything? It does do something right now. Actually, you'd take down one of the Valakutes likely with it. Barrow
know
writes
that-
Elish Norn.
Elish Norn is the
I think it's the biggest
best
threat that he has
target.
left. I think that's purely it, and it actually stops the Sakura Tribe Elder from being a lethal kill. He does also have a Sphinx's Revelation in hand,
There you go.
so we're just going to cast this, gain 6. I don't think that we have the land in hand just yet.
Get wrecked.
Also, can we talk about that Altered Bolt? He just bolted himself to go to 12 timely reinforcements. Hits parody the card that says, if you have less life, you gain 6. He didn't. Paul with a fetch land in hand, another land in hand, takes the win because of that. First of all, beautifully altered Lightning Bolt to just bash himself in the face and join him at 12. Couldn't he just fetch for a shock? No, because then he would have to deal 6 damage to something. Or he could deal 3 damage to each, but when you could just win it.
6 to himself, but that's just less fun.
Or he could just fetch shock, but then deal 3 damage to each, but then you don't win next turn.
Yeah,
I guess actually you'd have the Lightning Bolt. Could have done that too.
that was funnier.
That was way funnier.
Bolt myself. Oh.
Also, this one, I guess, was open to, like, if a counterspell interferes, he still does have that option to
Yeah.
fetch shock.
He's got the backup plan.
Oh, man, that was beautiful. Watching commentation.
You should watch him play Taking Turns.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Plays that
It's-
thing so fast.
Oh, man. Don't worry, not many. Like, Coleman is just a fast player. He's very, I'm going to draw a comparison, and the comparison is only in this one aspect. Please don't make any other comparisons between the other two players. It's very close to, like, old school Mike Long. That he played fast.
He did.
Mike Long played real fast. He was also cheated, but that's not what Coleman does. But he played real fast. It was a classic, just like... You like
Yes,
Mike Long?
If more,
I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame.
it's true. If everyone played at this speed, more decks would be viable.
Lantern would be so much better.
They
Oh,
wouldn't have banned
goodness.
Second Sunrise.
Yeah.
That's a good thing they did ban that, because that was awful.
Thanks, Doro. I appreciate that. Oh, man. What happened? You blinked and you missed it. So Coleman cast a timely reinforcements with the intent of gaining 6 and getting another turn. Paul, in response, lightning bolted himself to match him at 12, which allowed both players to be at the same. Coleman got no value out of that timely reinforcements. Then Paul fetched to get a mountain to deal 6 damage
he
to
had a
Coleman,
mountain in hand.
and had a mountain in hand to do the final 12. Can we add player records to layout? We could if we had them. We don't always have them. Whenever we're switching matches to just get another one, we usually move them over, and we don't always have their records readily available to us. We can certainly do that, but it's occasionally relevant. But
if you tweet at Slowly Crashing, he might get you a deck list.
in a 4-round round event, it hasn't always been the most relevant piece of information. Like in a larger tournament, when there's a cut to top 8, standings matter a lot more. In a 4-round event, they kind of don't at all, other than for the purpose of like knowing how that's doing. But we'll have the finals on. So, a basic plan's coming down from Coleman. The turn one search for tomorrow is still looking fresh to death. We do have a fetch. And how rare are slivers? Depends on if you live in if you have hardwood floors or not. If you do, then a little bit more common.
The whiteboard of lands getting you?
Also note that he went for the 2 basics. This actually means that future things where he's going for just a forest or a mountain, he can get the Cinderglade, and also the Cinderglade in his hand will be able to come in untapped.
Yep.
Could have actually gone for something else, but maybe just trying to save his life total a little bit, because the search for tomorrow is actually going to find, or the Sakura Tribe Elder is going to also find the 2nd basic.
Yeah.
So maybe didn't need to do it, but it's not going to punish him too much to do
No.
so. Also, it's just because you might as well save a little bit of life. Once you get to the 2 green sources, you start just going for mountains anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Booted Head, it's good to see ya.
Oh, thank you. You know, I always look snazzy, but TJ had to put a little extra effort in today.
I was looking, I don't know, scruffy before or something.
He had a cowboy hat on. It was awful.
Oh, man, I missed that cowboy hat already. So, at the upkeep, we're going to find our 4th basic, getting another mountain. We do have the 2 forest. A little bit surprised that he went for the basic forest.
Is he expecting, like, does he have Blood Moon?
Possibly, but even still, you really only need 2 green sources in this match. And, I mean, Paul bringing in a Blood Moon would just be abysmally bad.
Yes.
So
I'm not
it's
saying
unlikely.
it's good. I'm just saying that is a pause. He could play it in the deck.
He has red mana available to him.
He does.
His mana base could play it. His deck cannot.
He's playing basics. I like it. Flashback think twice.
Going for the Valakut again. Still a little bit surprised by this because he could have had another mountain, and the Cinderglade would have actually put him up to the 5th one that he needs at this point.
I mean, he knows he has time, so he's being conservative. Tech Edge. Gotcha.
But when so many of your things search for basics, I want to keep.
I
as
mean,
many
maybe
of them in
he's
there as
expecting
I
the land hate.
can. Maybe, but I'm not sure. Tech Edge is only going to be going for 1 land anyway. Also, could have conserved one of these fetches for later. Though he didn't know he was going to draw the Calling Heart Expedition, I suppose. Is there much reason to play blue-white control over blue-white-red? It depends on what spells you want to casting. In this one, blue-white is better because you don't really want Bolt, and the only other thing that you have is Nahiri, but that takes 5 slots of your deck. That is otherwise going to things like this, which is a bit more what Coleman's looking for. This is a deck that is entirely built to beat like shadow strategies.
Yeah.
Disallow, negate, Flooded Strand. How do you split this up? I would probably put disallow against.
Yeah. The negate, it's going to eat something, but the disallow is the same.
Both of these will hit escape shift. He's taking the disallow power,
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. Because that is actually able to hit some of the Valakut triggers.
Mm-hmm.
It's also able to take down, say, the Colony Heart Expedition activation.
Bolt?
Lightning Bolt to kill the Jace. So maybe his only intent there is to give him the thing that costs more mana, but I'm not sure if that's quite enough, in my mind.
Calling Heart is 3?
Never mind. We know why he went for it.
That's fair.
Because Paul had escape shift in hand, and now just needs to win. Remember,
Need to show it. It's 20, not 8. A lot of times they'll grab short. So let's see. Because they're used to them being at a lower life total.
actually, he just needs to do this. He's got the Colony Heart Expedition.
It's true. And they can landfall a lot.
Exactly. So all he needs to do is get the final one, and that's enough. So actually, he functionally did have the 8 lands required there, because of that Colony Heart Expedition, which actually is why he was able to go off with 7 lands there as opposed to the 8, which Coleman was actually doing a great job of keeping his life total high to potentially gain that extra turn. Okay. What's the best sliver? Is it Sliver Overlord? Probably. I mean, are we talking Legacy or Modern? Because in Legacy, it's the Shroud one.
Yeah.
In Modern, it's probably Predatory Sliver, like it's all those ones.
Yeah.
Or actually, Gale Rider Sliver might be a big one. Maybe Gemhide. Gemhide might be a good
It
one.
lets like his bolts are altered betas, yes.
What are the top 3 bad matchups for Bantel Eldrazi?
Bantel Drowsy.
Let's see here.
But Flash Freeze is amazing. Why should it... everyone should
Merfolk
play
is
that.
not particularly good. It's problematic.
I'm gonna go find a match
Okay.
while you chat with these folks.
Have some fun out there. Be amazing. Do cool stuff.
I'll do what I can.
Be great. Storm is pretty solid against Bantel Eldrazi. And Ad Nauseam is good against Bantel Eldrazi. Goblin Guy, thank you so much for the sub. It's awesome having you here. That's 2 months in a row. You're amazing and incredible, and it's always a pleasure having you here. It was a pleasure meeting you in Portland, and I hope all is well with you. So, that's 2 wins for Paul, and we're going to head on up, and we're going to try and find another match. We'll see you up there. Hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining. What deck did I play? I ended up playing Burn because I ran out of time. I built the deck on the Wednesday just before, completely ran out of time. Tron is good against Banto Eldrazi. I'm actually not certain that's true. Tarmac Orphan 104, thank you so much for the follow. It's a pleasure having you here. AJ, it's a pleasure to see you. I hope you're doing wonderful. There we go. You triggered it? Yes, I know. That was a ways after. Titan Shift is also very good against Banto Eldrazi. That's pretty reasonable. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome, Gobbler Guy. You're great. Thank you to you. Bushwhacker seems good against Bant. Bushwhacker seems decent against Bant. I think it's got an edge. I'm not sure if it's one of their worst matchups.
I have a match.
Tell me more about it.
Lewis
Ooh.
is on the wall. And that's Kevin, right? He's not on the wall.
Jet Eggs, thank you so much. Another
Stepping
month.
on.
Keep up the good work.
Perfect. It's
Hey,
on the floor.
thank you. I appreciate that so very much. And he's up against Kevin.
Yep, and he says you know what he's on.
I do know what he's on.
Perfect. Kevin's on the play. This is round 3. Game 3. Numero Trace.
Green White Hate Bears up against Grixis Delver.
Oh, that's right, he showed us what he was
How
on.
you feel about it?
Hate Bears on the play. I like Hate Bears.
You like Hate Bears? I think I do as well.
This is like one of the matchups that you play Hate Bears for.
Yeah, there's a lot of greedy fetches, there's a lot of reliance on the graveyard, there's a lot of quick instants or sorceries, there's Path to Exile is remarkable against a lot of that. Any chance that you can like even just bouncing a Tasker is particularly relevant, though they don't do a whole lot. I guess they do Flickering, but Flickering is also not terrible against things like Delver of Secrets, which can turn it back into a 1/1. Absolutely. Tarmac, have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Faden, you are featured for the day. Thanks for being who you are. You're great and amazing, and I just like having you here. Your name's fun to say, and thanks. Thank you. You're great. See you there. Game 3. All right, kicking things off. Green
It's
White
like
Hate Bears.
Lewis Mulligan. He's got the scry.
And start off with a tapped Temple Garden. Got to be a
Interesting.
Thalia in hand or something reasonable. Delver of Secrets coming down early. We're down to 18 after Lewis plays a Steam Vents. Huh.
Dahlia? Dahlia.
Let's,
Inquisition to flip it.
Thalia's
Seems decent.
good. I mean, Thalia is so good on this board anyway, though. The Inquisition looks okay, and actually there's a Surgical Extraction that Lewis brought in, which strikes me as unusual. Maybe trying to
Maybe
hit
trying to
some of
hit out
these...
something specific.
It could just be because if you can Inquisition something and take it out, so you can take out some of the more relevant cards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why not, TJ?
Why don't I know? Because I wouldn't bring it in. Personally, I think that Surgical Extraction is boarded in a lot more often than it should be. I think that the card is strictly for hitting combo decks.
Yeah, I see people board it in when they get blown out by a certain card,
Yeah.
and they're afraid of it afterwards, even though the odds of people drawing the card again are not that great.
Yep. Inquisition coming down now. Unlikely to take down the Lockstone Smiter. Do you
Probably
care
not.
about the Path to Exile or the Kitchen Feast?
I probably care more about the Path to Exile.
Well, remember that Kevin does have to pay 2 to cast that, so it's going to be
That's
pretty
true.
preventative. I actually
He's
do
got the
like
2,
taking
though.
out the Kitchen Finks. It beats a lot of Lewis's removal as well. And the Lockstone Smiter you just can't take.
I mean, you could take it. It would just go onto the board.
That's true, I suppose. I suppose. Take the Smiter. And actually,
Always
he's going
take
for
the
the.
Smiter.
Is he going for the Path this turn? No.
No.
Ooh, that's really good.
That seems good.
That's a blowout.
Ghost Quarter. on
Draws
that.
Leonin Arbiter. Uses the Ghost Quarter. Lewis doesn't have the 2 mana to pay there. Loses his Steam Vents. Is stuck on a black mana.
I hear Wasteland is good.
And he's got 2 fetches. Oh no, he's got a Steam Vents in hand. That is fortunate, but not 100%
Don't play the
what
fetch.
you
Don't
needed.
play the. Oh my gosh, he's gonna play the fetch.
Now the fetch is the wrong land here.
That's gonna feel bad.
It's not gonna feel right. But we've got a hit for 3. I'm a little bit surprised. Maybe he's trying to play around a future Ghost Quarter. But
I mean that.
next
doesn't-
turn he plays that, and then he can just pay the 2 mana to use the fetch. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. That strikes me as a risky way to go about this situation. 2 mana here from Kevin, going down to 12 for the pleasure.
Path the Insectile Aberration.
Does seem like
Can't search.
Nope. This is brutal. Lewis down to 11.
Getting voided. Nope.
Yep, alright,
Okay.
stopped him. 64 gigabytes of RAM. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's
a
a
lot of
pleasure
RAM.
having you here. That's a lot of RAM. Well, I'm glad that I'm not a door. You'd probably knock me over. Okay.
So, you're Lewis. You just realized you can't search. What's your play?
Well, I've got a surgical and a mana leak, so I'm feeling pretty bad. So,
You're gonna shock so that you can not play the mana leak.
well, the problem is that Kevin's already, like, Lewis can't play the mana leak.
No, I mean he can
No.
fetch this turn. He can't play the mana leak this turn.
Yes.
That's locked out. He can Snapcaster.
Snap, block.
You just lose it. Block the Arbiter.
Yeah, you block the Arbiter and then try and fetch. But that's such a...
There you go.
If Kevin has a Path to Exile too, this is so desperately close to a blowout. Doesn't look like he does, though. So actually this might... It's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction. And we do have the Path.
Yep.
Yep. Looks like... Did he wait for blocks? He did wait for
Apparently.
blocks. A little bit odd that he waited that
Play
late.
the Lavamancer and the Blood Crypt if you really
I think you
feel the need.
do... I mean, you put it into play.
Yes.
But now you just start keeping up a surgical extraction.
Yep.
Which, again, doesn't really do a whole lot.
You can get 2 paths.
Revenge for the bad things that TJ said about death and taxes earlier. I mean... I have no stake in this game. I like both of these people. They're both delightful people. I mean...
Take 4.
As Eric said, this is exactly why you play Green White Hate Bears, is for Grixis Delver.
Yeah.
So, you can use the Grim Lavamancer to kill one of these cards. You need a Terminate here, pretty badly. That's not
Man,
a Terminate.
quality.
You've got nothing, actually. Right now, Lewis is on the game plan of going to 1 by blocking the
Block and
Lockstone
then
Smiter.
Ping the other thing.
Exactly. And that is not where you want to be. Technically, Lewis
Probably
is
the
alive.
Thalia.
If you're going to ping something, the Thalia does seem like the most reasonable
Because at
play.
this point you're not searching for anything anyway.
And then your Kolagon's command can kill it and bring back something, and then... whereas you wouldn't be able to cast... Because you're going to be at 1, so the
Yeah.
fetch is dead anyway.
Yeah, that's why there's no point. Is that a Ghost Quarter again?
Yep.
Oof.
That ain't bad. Or you just Gavany?
That works. There you go.
Gavany's not
exciting.
bad. So Kevin takes the game 3 here with the Hate Bears taking down Grixis Delver. Went remarkably well early on.
It did.
Lewis just wasn't able to... I mean, that Leonin Arbiter turned the game around.
Yeah.
An Inquisition takes the best card in the hand, which is sort of medium, and what does Kevin draw into? The exact turn 3 play that you want.
Arbiter Ghost Quarter. And just,
Exactly. Just, it could not have gone better for Kevin there, and that, like, he took that and he ran with it, and won the game for it. So let's head on up to the field. We've got about 25
Oh
minutes
yeah,
left.
chokes. Because that's fair.
Jokes are good.
I hate choke.
Wait till you hear my new deck idea. It's awesome. Hi everybody, welcome to joining. My name's TJ.
I'm Eric.
And we're starting out a Geek Fortress located in Snohomish, Washington, in the middle of round 3 here tonight in our Wednesday Modern, which you can join every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m., which is always exciting, always fun, and always a thrilling fight to the finish for each of these players as they step up to the plate, take a swing, sometimes miss and sometimes crack it right out of the park, and other times they just kind of hit it to the side. A fan gets to catch one, get to take home a souvenir, and then it ends up counting as a strike. But hey, as long as it's the last one, it doesn't quite count. You keep on stepping up, taking that swing until the clock hits 50.
Unless you bunt.
Unless you bunt. I kind of lost track of that. No, I lost.
He started this way and just all right.
Lost that metaphor. I had it. I had a good grip on that one. I was right up there at the plate, and I bunted it, and it got away from me.
You didn't play a lot of baseball, did you?
I did actually.
That's not how you bunt.
No, it's not.
Okay.
You do that.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I played baseball for 6 years, I think, give or take, something like that. All right.
I'm gonna see if I can find us a match.
And chat is the fans that you get to take something home. That's exactly it.
You get to take the memories of chatting with us via internet.
Indeed, and you can get a $10 hot dog.
And a $15 beer. $15 Bud Light. Yeah!
Woo! All right, do we have another match?
I haven't left yet.
I know. Oh, goodness gracious. It's going to be fun, but remember to check out the streams. We do 3 of them a week. Every Wednesday at 7 and Saturday at 6. We've got Modern, plus we've got Legacy at 7:30 on Fridays. All times are Pacific time. Here at Geek Fortress, located in... Eric's disappointing face. I know! He does a good disappointed face to the things that I say. It's pretty solid, pretty good, and it does keep me in check. And of course, he's back already. He's been on fire with these ones, but he's going to say...
They're in games. Well, one's in a game and one declined. So
who's keeping an eye?
well, there's only 2 matches still going.
Ah.
One is in game 3, the other declined.
Ah, they're in game 3. Okay. How do I feel about that? Modern Burn is now more expensive than Legacy Burn?
It means chain lightnings are not that expensive.
If by now you mean it has been for the last forever? Yes. I mean, one deck runs Fetch Shock mana base, and one of them runs tons of bases.
Price of Progress mana base.
Yeah. Yep. So, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't particularly bother me.
Want to know what TJ and Eric think of the gods we've
Decks
seen
cost
so
what
far?
they cost.
I think the red one is going to be all right.
I
I'll
think
play
the
it.
red one's solid.
I think the blue one is not that great.
I think the blue one is,
Meh.
The problem is, like, where I see it is in a control shell, because it's actually really cool to wear, like, 3 minute, or 4 mana draw card?
4.
4 mana draw card, and potentially, like, bring back a cycling land to recycle it.
Melvin, I
Actually
want you to
strikes me.
show me. I had to finish that, sorry.
That's okay. That's pretty reasonable of you. Being able to, like, cycle a land sounds really cool. The problem is that to do it, you have to spend an entire turn spending 3 mana to do nothing.
Yeah.
And
so the problem is it costs 4 to play, correct?
3.
3. Okay, so you play it turn 3. Turn 4, are you going to have 7 cards in hand? If you're in a deck where you have turn 4 7 cards in hand and can do all those shenanigans, like...
Why do you need to draw cards?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, no, I think the red one is actually really solid, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's such a cool curve topper. The problem is that there needs to be 2 mono red 1-drops that are worth playing. Currently, there's maybe 1 if you're generous. And probably, like, 2.5 to 3 2-drops that are worth playing. Currently, there's 0 to 1, again,
Yeah.
being generous.
If you want, like, a red, Boss-esque, like,
That-
lot of red creatures attacking, like a red deck wins type thing, like, that's what you need, and at this point,
Yep,
that just
so
isn't there.
the closest thing that I see is like black-red vampires, which is decent. Falcon Wrath Gorger is the one if you're generous. You nailed it.
You got it!
Samuel J. Donner, you and I agree. That is the generous one that is remotely reasonable. You're excited to Fling Colossi? I'm super excited that Fling and Atog and Electrostatic Pummeler are all in a format together.
I'm excited for Fling. I'm always a fan of, like, Fling?
Yeah, I mean, Pauper Affinity is almost in standard.
Oh god, it is, isn't it?
It's pretty close.
That's not good.
Yeah. So maybe Black Red Vampires gets into a curve topper of like, turn 1 Gorger into turn 2, the one to where you discard at the beginning of combat to give it +2/+0.
Yeah.
Then you go into the Youth, the Insolent Youth or whatever, the 5/4, the 4/3 with haste.
Yeah.
And then you dive into that one turn 4 but I'm not even sure if that actually, like, with all the lands in your draws, I'm not even sure if you're actually attacking with it that turn. Well, I guess if you pitch another card, then I think you're okay to maybe attack with that, and that strikes as, like, best case scenario,
So
but you need way
the
more
problem with the
redundancy.
scenario you're describing is the
Christmas-
setup for this scenario.
Is the exact, like, it's 5 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to be pitching that right card at that time, and it's like, oh, goody.
Yep. TJ, what's the best card legal in Modern, and why is it Lightning Bolt? It's Lightning Bolt. Why? Because it does everything.
That's
It kills
not true.
people, it kills creatures, it bolts yourself, it bolts people, it looks great, it costs 1, it goes into any archetype, it's worth splashing for it, it's better than all the original boons. It's also premier removal that isn't worthless in the late game, it's good in every matchup because there's no situation in which it's particularly bad, and overall, it's just neat.
Walnuts Magoo knows what's up.
Okay.
His best card with initials LB. And why is it Leatherback Bailiff?
I don't know enough cards with the initials LB to dispute the point, so it's probably Leatherback Baloth because it adds 3 devotion.
It does.
Inventor's Apprentice is a bomb once an artifact hits. Yeah, but no deck that wants that is running artifacts. Except Scrapheap's Conjure, but like 4 does not a good card make. You like it better than Zergo Bellstriker? I like Zergo Bellstriker more.
Zergo Bellstriker can ring all the bells.
I mean, mostly just the fact that you could occasionally have it hasty was like somewhat relevant. As Foretold is fantastically cool. Last Breath, nice. That's a good one.
Does exile Mutavault.
That was actually a play in Standard.
I know. I was
Good play
there.
too. As Foretold looks sweet. I think it's a combo card, not a value card. I mean, the idea of like casting all those things sounds sweet, but why would you not just cast all those cards on curve significantly sooner, like on curve?
Mhm.
The card's cool though. I'd love to see Restore Balance or like an Ancestral Visions, or it's interesting. If nothing else, it's wildly interesting, and I can't wait to see what people do with it. So far with the spoilers, do I think this set's safe Standard? I think it makes it significantly more. Actually, I don't know.
Nothing's rotating out with this, is there?
No, it's a step in the right direction.
Mm.
There's a couple of haste creatures that might be able to apply pressure to a Gideon as well.
I'm going to play all the Gideons. Just play Gideon Tribal.
Xavier, I assume. Thank you so much for the sub. Sub. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you here. You are great and a rock star and just an all-around splendid person. Hey, if you were to take that ID and turn it into an A, someone might mix you into a cup of coffee. But until then, you just keep doing what you're doing.
Lotus Bloom is pretty good, actually. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Lotus Bloom and then cast another.
Not enough
as
Gideons
foretold.
yet? Oh, I'm playing Gideon Tribal in Modern. I'm even playing Kithian.
Oh, you're talking about just for LB. You're right. I was thinking like as foretold, Lotus Bloom, another as foretold. Oh man. Let's see here. Cards will suspend. Actually, they have confirmed that the rules are not changing, and they do not foresee them changing to make it do anything different than what it currently does.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Seivert. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. The new Gideon strikes me as overhyped. Like, the plus is good. An in real life green creature. Wow, you must be the Jolly Green Giant. I'm pretty jolly myself. It's a pleasure having you here.
Or maybe they're just an elf.
Wow, how exciting. Thank you so much for hitting follow. I look forward to seeing you more in the future. Now I just am curious what kind of creature you are, not IRL. Do you become a different kind of creature, right? Like,
You can be whatever you want.
yes, it's the beauty of the internet.
Yes, Gideon Tribal. Play all the Gideons in Modern. It'd be amazing.
I think the new Gideon is better in other formats than it is in Standard.
It's actually not bad. And
It's not, I mean, it's just, in Standard, like, it dies to Heart of Kirin. Pretty badly. And that's going to be happening a pretty good amount of the time. Now, the big thing is that it can plus on that Heart of Kirin. So I guess that is relevant, so maybe it doesn't die to Heart of Kirin the more that I talk. But, I don't know. Just, does the emblem really matter that much? It depends entirely on the number
on
of
how
answers
many
that they give
Gideons
us.
you have.
Like, if Dreadbore gets a reprint, then the entire face of things changes. But then again, Dreadbore may just make Mardu vehicles even
Gideon
better.
will not go into Ad Nauseam.
Um,
Ad Nauseam has like one slot that flexes between any match ever. So trying to trim that down, I don't think that Gideon is going to.
I could see them running it, actually. So sometimes they run the 4th Phyrexian on life in the sideboard, things like that. I could
Running
see them running
Gideon
the Gideon
instead
because
as a
it's
one-of?
better against Infect, which the deck is weak to. Because you plus it on the creature itself, and it can actually no longer deal that Infect damage to you.
I can see it as a one-of sideboard card at the most.
It's not a strict swap over.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think that it's actually pseudo-reasonable. The emblem looks insane against Copycat. I completely disagree. If I attack you with 1,000 1/4s and your Gideon with 1,000 1/4s, you will still die.
You will. This just
Like,
in.
You will go to negative 900 and some odd, and then
you
your
lose
Gideon,
your
won't
Gideon.
die.
As a state-based action, you lose the game. It's probably not correct, but
So I think that Copycat is actually going to keep the new Gideon in check. So I actually...
so you're
like,
saying a twin deck is policing the format?
what's up, Barkeem? It's good to be home. Depends on if you count home being here or home being like in the stream. Both feel pretty accurate to that. 1,000 damage is not nearly enough to kill me, though.
It's true.
You'd have to deal over 9,000. Ah, man. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm curious. I think that the new Gideon is an interesting design space.
I think they're moving more and more away from planeswalkers with like ridiculous alts, which I kind of approve of.
Even though this one is like on paper ridiculous.
I mean,
But in
yes.
practice, it's not. The fact that it's for 0 is probably the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that it's weird, but
That's the biggest question I have. Why not just a -1?
If you look at ridiculous alts like that you have to work for, like that are game winning, if that
Sure.
makes sense. So like, let's look at Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Jebediah, thank you so much. You're amazing. Feel free to...
Jebediah, you're awesome.
Yeah, you're great. Thank you so much. The 2 months in a row. I love the number of subs today. That is currently 7 subs plus a bunch of renewals. I love it. You're amazing. You're great. In general, I
like-
just like all of you.
So like Jace or Tamio, where the alts are just like, if you ever get it, the game's over.
Done.
But you're never gonna get it. Whereas like with Gideon, you get to play with the shiny new card and get to actually use that ability. But the odds of that actually being, what ends the game, you don't just win on the spot. They can get rid of your Gideon and keep playing, and it's not over.
New bike day today. How exciting! How exciting! What kind of bike did you get? Is it 12 speed, a 10 speed? Do you listen to Queen songs as you pedal it around? Is it a motorcycle? Is it a motorized bike? Is it a bicycle? I have so many questions.
Yes, there's
about
one more round. We're just waiting for another game to finish up, and then we'll be going on to round 4, where I'll try to get the finals.
it. Yep. Gideon's flavor has always been no ult. Agreed. I like Gideon. I think Gideon's a good character. I think this Gideon would be significantly, like, for all the complaints about this Gideon, has, in my opinion, obviously maybe not, I believe has 100% to do with the fact that the name Gideon is on it. If this was a new Planeswalker that had this ability, people would be like, wow, what a neat design. But the fact that we're finally getting confirmation of what we've known since Gideon Battle, like, Ally of Zendikar has been out, like, you can't lose the Gideon now. We know. We are fully aware that you can't lose with a Gideon on the battlefield. We've been playing it for a year. Like,
They just put it on paper now.
they
Now
just-
it's a rule.
Right. Like, if there was any name other than Gideon, people would be like, wow. But now it's just like, why? Why did you give us another Gideon? And yes, the other one was supposed to have rotated out for this one, so that'll be interesting. But
We're gonna have
like,
all the Gideons.
a single speed Trader Crusade ordered from Evo out in Washington. We're in Washington. How exciting. I hope you
We're
enjoy
in
it.
Washington?
Yeah.
Yes, the -8, you gain 100 life, is one of those, like,
Gideon's the new face of
Goody.
MTG. Thoughts? Actually, I think I'm okay with that. It's a dude that basically just goes to new planes is like, what? weirdly specific task can I just conquer here?
Do you have some sort of trial or
Can I just
right that I can go through?
what do you all talk about that no one's actually done? Because
I'm gonna go do that.
I got that. That's kind of what we do. We're like, all right, what ridiculous enchantment is on this plane? We're gonna break it. So basically, Gideon is kind of like us,
Yep.
just in an absurd way. Oh man, I'm about to die. Spin Marvel to get a Gideon. Don't die thanks to Marvel. That sounds awesome, actually.
How could that be bad?
Oh
Can't.
man. Give me Elsbeth. Elsbeth is great. We need a new
I
Garruk.
think we need a new Garrick. We discussed this down in San Antonio. Where is Garrick? What's he doing?
He's actually still hunting planeswalkers.
Yes, we talked about this. I was there
Yeah,
the
they
whole time.
weren't.
That's true. So we have.
Don't be stupid, 47. I will not. Thank you
What
so
you
much
trying to say?
for that sub. It's great having you. 6 months in a row is an impressive number. And you are an impressive person. Thank you so much for your support of this stream.
Yeah,
TJ and
Tibble Resurgence.
TJ and Todd are going at it for Best Dressed Magic Player of the Year. Pff, he's trying. Draw speculation. What colors is the first planeswalker that Bolas is cultivating going to be? Blue-black. It was Ashiok.
We talked about this too.
Yep.
We had a lot of Magic talk.
We had... Yeah, we do. We discussed the game on the regular.
Funny enough, people who sit here and do this.
Petrunkenvat? Hopefully I got that right.
Drunken elephant.
Thank you so much for hitting that.
You know who you
follow.
are.
It's a pleasure having you here. You are a rock star, and I look forward to seeing you more in the future. I've got all kinds of hand gestures that'll really indicate how much I appreciate you being here. Now,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
remember one thing in particular. As you start looking at all these cool things, as you start having all these brews,
Round 4.
as you get
Let me
ready
wait
for
for
round
finals.
4, let me ask you, are you going to be putting together any cool new decks?
Probably not in standard, but in modern,
Put it up.
we'll see.
Absolutely you will be. And where are you going to go for those cards? You're going to go to GeekFortress
GeekFortressGames.com.
Absolutely, you will. All kinds of cool things happening on there. You can check out the events calendar to see some of those upcoming events that we might be streaming. And, of course, you can just see all the cool things that are happening in the world. Also got a couple of ideas expanding in the future that I've got some high hopes for. And I've recently had a very cool idea that I'm going to be trying to pursue for myself recently with the help of Melvin the Muppet, who is in chat right now. Melvin, as always, let me just say this in a public sense. Melvin, for all the advice that you have given me over the course of the last several months,
I got the
thank
finals.
It's a doozy.
you. Where is Sean Yu? He's probably out trying to find some really dank Snoopy memes.
Probably. We have. There you go. You gotta work on your highlighting skills.
I do need to work on my highlighting skills. What you got up against him?
Sean playing Tron.
Neat.
It rhymes, so I remembered it.
It is, in fact, a doozy.
I told you.
What's TJ's idea? Ooh, I don't wanna let the cat out of the bag too
What did
much.
you tell them?
I told them that I've got an idea for myself, the one that I told you,
Oh, yes.
and I've got another idea which I've told you before. Yeah.
Eric reminds me of someone else for some strange reason.
How
Got one of those faces.
how many players tonight? Mid-20s, low 20s?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s, the huge.
It's what we do. It's our thing.
Yeah, we just
If you're in the
jam.
area, come out and play.
Seriously, if you're in the area near Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington, come out play. If you're in Seattle, make the drive on up. It's worth it. It's amazing. It's awesome. This store is delightful. Dylan is a phenomenal store owner who it has been an absolute pleasure working with him over the years. The store is a good place to be. The environment is wonderfully relaxed in how it goes about its events. The players are generally solid, but with mixed degrees of talent and many people learning and many people still perfecting. And a lot of cool deck choices, some top tier and some brews and everything in between. The store's a good place.
Dylan doesn't suck. That's true. Dylan's
Fact.
pretty awesome.
Fact. You ready to head on down? Can I give a clue?
I mean, but then you have to pay 2 mana to draw a card, and that's just not going to work.
We'll see if I can come up with an investigate joke later.
No.
We'll see it down there. Okay, so delete quote TJ. Oh, that's sad. Maybe eventually you'll make your way back to Washington. I certainly hope so. I
They
hope
are
so.
aggressively rolling that dice. I see what you did there.
There's a TJ. Oh man, that's an old school thing.
Oh my.
That's
Look at that setup we got going there.
that is some old school dancing. My goodness.
Classic.
Hello to all the.
So
the
who do you
Quake
like in
members
this
out there.
matchup?
Jund versus Green Red Tron? Yeah, I like Tron. I like Tron. The deck goes big, but actually Peter, no stranger to this matchup,
No,
has
he-
beaten it on more than one
He
occasion.
knows exactly how to play this.
Pyroclasm a dead card in this matchup unless there's.
It can get a bob.
You were taking the expedition map.
You are.
So with a hand of Karn, but remember one piece of Tron, one Carplusian Forest. There's gonna be a turn one bobble. Peter is not out of this. Like, as far as the hands go,
There's
this is
the map.
okay.
There you go. Peter knows what's up.
What's your opinion of Joe Cool?
He's awesome.
The only, like, Joe Cool is phenomenal with one exception, which is that he occasionally goes around as my nemesis. As the Red Baron, I do occasionally have to take some time out of my busy schedule to defeat the World War I fighting ace.
Flying ace.
Flying ace. I misspoke. Thank you.
He's also not allowed at Dirty Nellies.
Also true. What do I think the percentages are in this matchup?
Not good for Peter.
75-25. Like, 80-20 is the deepest that I'll go in any given matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Green-Red Tron is really close to that. Green-White Tron is probably just over the edge. Like, Green-White Tron probably takes the 80. Green-Red probably takes the 75. Can we get some Red Baron pizza jokes, too? People always make them. I don't actually even eat that pizza. So,
TJ's too classy for that. He's a little Caesar's man.
I don't eat that either.
I know.
It is not DJ Chuckles. That is
Joe Camel.
just Joe Camel.
Joe Cool is Snoopy
Yep.
with the sunglasses.
And the shirt. Or the jacket, the leather jacket. And he just leans up against stuff.
Kind of Fonz-like, but, you know,
Yeah.
cooler.
Yeah.
Sean's cycling the bobble. Probably making green, because that's what they do.
So, almost certainly. It makes Ancient Strings viable, things like that. Still no Tron Landon. Ian hasn't played that one yet. Mostly lost. Thank you so much for the sub. We got some hype and some bolts in that chat. I do appreciate it. You are amazing and awesome and exciting.
I like it. Alright, so what can he do here? Let's see. Another Thoughtseize here. Do you just take Karn just for... Oh, Wormcoil and Karn. That's fun.
I think that with the Liliana out, I actually might take the Wormcoil engine. He has a Liliana in hand and pressure, and the card would have to minus on
He has
that
a
one.
Nulamog behind there too, right?
Yeah, but that one's so far away from being cast. I think I like the Liliana because it's going to allow putting more pressure on that. Right now, the Liliana is basically discard 2 Pyroclasms over the course of the turn, which isn't actually that impressive. Salatin, thank you so very much for the sub. That is a Twitch Prime sub. You get one free a month. You're using that one here. I love it. Joy, you want to do slash, not exclamation point, but I appreciate you jumping in. A lightning bolt coming in, and I think it's just dome in the face. I think one reason to fire this off, so leaving the card in hand could, in theory, have saved that one in hand for the express purpose of the Karn likely going to be minusing the new lightning bolt to answer that one as well.
That's fair.
But once he has the 7 mana, I think his intent is to not let him get the 7 mana. Because once he has that 7 mana, he's 1 tower away from just casting the new Ulamog. And Peter cannot beat that.
No.
5 speed
Any
LA.
Elixir of Immortality? That'd be sweet if he had it.
5 speed LA and Spotty Rhyme. Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been a year and a half of effort and Always trying to get better and hit that next level of what we're trying to do. And positive feedback like that means a lot to us. Can I say heck? Heck yeah! Yes, you can. Okay.
So is this Liliana going to start discarding?
The problem
He's
is
got
that
two pyroclasms to discard, so it's not super relevant right now, unfortunately.
well, like the part about it that's relevant is that Sean is now on a clock to hit this because Liliana ulting
Is kind of a backbreaker for Tron.
yes.
Plus, Tarmogoyf is not small right now.
Mostly lost. I will pass that along. I'm glad that they did. Hopefully it was I didn't actually catch your stream. I'm sorry. I was actually busy most of the weekend. So I didn't really catch your stream, but hopefully it was successful. If not, anybody who's currently in chat should hit follow on Mostly Lost's account.
So,
I mean, Sean's at 7.
yeah.
There's a Tarmogoyf on the battlefield that Sean can't do anything about. Peter's taking game 1.
Yes.
There is very little to be said that would stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Karn at this point is actually...
Not enough.
It's close.
I mean, it's good.
It's actually
discard again. What do
extremely
you discard
close.
now?
Probably the new Ulamog, actually. I'm not going to have time to ever resolve that. That's,
no,
not what's
being
going to...
cast.
Hey, thank you so much, 5-Speed
Let's
LA.
see.
You look good, you feel good. And I do just like dressing up for this stream. And it means I get to dress up at work because it's more convenient. They're like, why do you always dress up for work? And I'm like, because it would be more effort to dress
change
casually.
Discarding World
Oh, okay. That's
Or is
actually
that
a fine
Endbringer?
discard. No, that's a World Breaker.
Okay.
Yeah. Endbringer not running Green Red Tron. That's just Eldrazi Tron where
Okay.
it really finds a home. So with the Liliana in the graveyard, Peter was able to put Sean down to 1.
Who know? Going to 2. Look at Peter beating the odds.
Peter takes game 1 with Jund against Green Red Tron. And did it with a fantastic job of using the discard, like being able to take down the map early on, which is such a huge function in how Green Red Tron assembles this, was big. Being on the play did matter. Being able to put down a Tarmogoyf turn 2 to start applying pressure, everything went right that match. Everything. Everything just went so very well that matchup. But Sean on the play next turn might be a different story.
Yeah.
It's going to be tricky.
Doro, World Breaker may break worlds, but Endbringer ends things.
Ends brings. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Foil cards gave him the edge? Probably. As you know, his Bobs only reveal land.
I've only ever seen it. It's frankly just drop dead impressive at this
It's
point.
like, oh. he hasn't taken damage up that.
It's absurdly impressive. It really is. So, Sean going to be on the play. It is looking like a really good way to go about things. Turn 1 map into turn 3 Tron. There's just not a whole lot that beats turn 3 Karn in this world.
Opinion of the best named deck in Magic. Ooh, I'd have to think through all the, like, crazy legacy deck names.
What do I think about Deceiver, Form Conduit of Ruin combo, and Eldrazi Tron? I think that's a different deck. I think that's a different deck than the current one, which is,
Also,
kind
turn
of-
4 Emrakul, not good enough.
like, Eldrazi Tron, like,
Walnus Magoo, I approve. He made TJ stop talking at that one. I like that. He hates that name.
it's the worst name for Affinity.
It's great.
Like, Affinity is not the best name. The best name is Robots, but Tin Man All-Star Band is just
It's amazing.
awful.
As someone
fun.
who's swung
I'll
with
say it's
Emrakul
fun.
multiple times before turn 4 Emrakul is not the greatest if that's all you're trying to do.
Yeah. It's reasonable, but it's not as consistent. The current one is a little bit more based on like a mid-rangey control deck and does a little bit more consistent at what it does.
Oops, all Gideon's.
That version is significantly faster. If you were in Washington, you'd 100% come in and play. Well, hey, everybody who is in Washington, listen to the words of 5-Speed LA, who I have to assume lives in LA. But I gotta say, I like going down to LA. I've got a lot of family down there. I will be looking, I mean, it's not anytime on the immediate radar, but next time I go down there, I will be looking for recommendations on where to go. Though there was a new shop that opened up there. I'd like to go there. They just started streaming, actually. Yeah. That's kind of cool, right? I like it when new shops are streaming.
There's no GPLA this year, though.
Do I come with funny names for my decks, or do I just go with the online names? I honestly just go with the online names. I'm there to play Magic. Like,
I don't worry too much about what my deck is named when I play.
I can come up with names, but like, I just kind of play Magic. I don't like trick out my decks. I play the most functional version of the deck that I can find.
Ooh, Sean Mulliganing. Not looking as good for Tron.
You like Spy Kids? Man, that's a great movie.
It is. Quality.
Thinking of Fire and Dice, it sounds kind of familiar. Did they recently have like a giant modern event to kick things off? Like a 6-round modern event? Because if so, then yes. Oxtrad Birdman Part 17, The Revenging. Oh, man. The Shimmy Shimmy Goko Bop. That's a great one. That's a good one.
I mean, if the thing makes me fill out a name for the deck, like I've had deck lists where you have to fill everything out and it's annoying, but I try and do something stupid, so if they have to put it in somewhere, they're forced to type that.
We should come to the GP in Minnesota in August. We're already lined up. We've got Vegas, Oklahoma City, and Portland lined up for this year.
Yep.
Oh, if I'm going to put on a clever deck name, I'm just going to call it off of something Joe Cool, though. Like
Fair.
Joe Cool Burn, Joe Cool Snacks.
And then they're like, what?
Yeah.
His name's not even Joe.
Okay. So, a relic not that outstanding, but we do have 2 pieces of Tron. Is this a natural Tron?
Natural Tron, Karn, turn 3.
Oh, that would be brutal. Oh, that'd be brutal, brutal, brutal.
Oh, you must get kicked out of a lot of modern events.
Wonderful. Yes, I will be in Vegas.
Yeah, we'll all be in Vegas.
Please do come and say hi. I'm really excited.
Duress.
I'm going to try and look up a place where we could do an event to like have everybody meet for dinner. But it might have to be like a buffet place with giant tables.
You just tell the hotel. They
Maybe.
probably set it up
The hotel actually might be a good place to do it.
after we book. We'll discuss this.
Yep.
And we'll get back to you.
What's up, Lord of the Pit? It's good to see you. Okay.
I mean, we have Jund beating Tron, so that's what's happening over the pit.
All right. By the way, Wilson, it's a family-friendly stream. You can defend Joe Cool all you want. Not that way, though. Okay. So, there's an Ancient Grudge in hand. Could actually take down the Oblivion Stone. May just not need to. If Sean's using all of these lands to start putting in Oblivion Stones, though I think he's got 2 towers right now.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
he's
he
a-
owns Tron.
So Sean is basically going with the Lord of the Rings sequel. It's a pretty good one. It's
Yeah.
actually got one of the best
I
battle
mean, it's
scenes
not
in
the Return of
cinematic
the
history.
King.
It does have the best battle in cinematic history, with the exception of I'm willing to concede that the almost season finale of Game of Thrones is pretty close. Lightning Bolt taking down the Dark Confidant. A little bit surprised to see that still in the deck, actually. Doesn't have a ton of value in this matchup. But Double Relic.
Seems good.
Goyfs are not going to be jamming right now. Not going to be
I
jamming right
mean,
now.
I'm going to jam a modern deck in Vegas, but if I was going to jam one right this second, I'd probably play...
I'd play Shadow Jund.
Yeah.
If I was to play a deck right now with
If you
any
told me to go,
resources-
I will probably do that. It's just good.
Lightning Bolt taking that one down. We do still have access to this, but another threat coming down. Goodness.
Oh,
Peter
wow.
with all the Dark Confidants. Sean's in top deck mode, but not really.
Lactose.
He could absolutely
Yeah.
pop one of these relics.
I mean, I think he should pop one of these relics.
With only 1 card in the graveyard, I actually would as well. Huh. The Battle of Highlander is amazing. That's true. That's true. 5-Speed LA, thank you so much for the sub. You found it today. You used your Twitch Prime, and I truly do appreciate that. That's awesome, and I cannot wait to see you more in the future. I also look forward to meeting you in Vegas. Okay.
Bolt Bob.
So
You may not like the bolt in this, TJ, but it's doing work.
it is doing good work right
I mean,
now.
Raging Ravine's about to start swinging here shortly, but
The bolt's been super relevant. And actually, with all the relics, it's been fine because it actually is able to take down the Tarmogoyfs, the Tarmagoofies.
I mean, not really. Right now, it's Planeswalker, instant, artifact, land.
Could absolutely take down his own though.
true.
Leak ZTV, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here. Okay. Emla, I would rather get donated a play set of Liliana's. I really don't care about the sauce at all.
No.
You can eat Liliana's too.
TJ
Trust
proved
me.
it.
Okay.
All right, Ancient Stirrings. What's he got? Big money? Ah, taking the other piece of Tron.
That seems reasonable. But what is in hand? Is it the Karn that they will always have? Actually, I just popped the relic. Because if you can find something top deck, gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. This
Every
is
time you see Tron do that, you're like, no!
especially with 10 mana
Stop
right now. Babs, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's a pleasure having you here.
Oh, there you go. And poor Peter.
Annihilated. Taking out all the red sources, also dropping down to 10-10. Peter's out of options.
Let's
at
just
this
go to
point.
game 3.
It's been no Liliana minus actually is okay.
It does. Game's not over. If you can Liliana minus, he's got it.
Lord of the Pit, I completely agree with you. No,
Aw.
it's the world's greatest mediocre blocker. Trying to find that Liliana. Oh man.
Attack. Mill.
I mean, you do. It's basically like
Ancient Stirrings again.
you're just hoping to hit a Liliana here. Otherwise, you're out.
Yeah.
Like, you're just the amount of milling at this point is no matter what time that you have, you cannot deal enough damage fast enough
No.
against this to actually win through the fact that you just lost 40 cards out of your library in a deck which you've been like. You have only like 10 cards left in the library.
Yeah.
And that's generous because you drew 7 to begin with, so it's probably closer to 5. So I don't know.
Taking map. Even,
I mean, there was probably nothing else.
that's true.
You take map.
Them feels.
It's the world's most effective mediocre blocker. Is that what I said?
Yes.
Oh man. A lot of mana up. Honestly, I might pop the relic for the purpose.
would,
Actually,
yeah.
you know what? I've got a fine card anyway. I'm just gonna swing. I'm just gonna swing.
Cracking map now. Okay.
Probably for Sanctum of Ugin.
See what he grabs. Is he thinking along the same lines as you?
Sanctum of Ugin seems like the really obvious choice, and it is.
Hey, look at that.
Need that. Need that. So could pop the relic and hope for the best because this lets him activate the 1 mana from this, and then still have 7. But maybe you just wait a turn. Like you've got 10-10 Ulamog. The only flip side to this is that if you pop the relic and play a creature, you get to keep the Ulamog potentially if the Liliana comes down.
Yeah.
But you also might miss entirely, and then have a card that. But the Liliana's going to minus anyway, and if it's anything else, it's not out. So really, you might as well pop it now. It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. Play your land for turn.
Doesn't really matter at all.
I would attack.
I mean, if you don't attack, there's a chance that you hit like a Karn, and then you can just take down the Kitchen Finks and hit for 10.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's just gonna let him.
Attack trigger. Let me just make sure that does what I think it does.
Yeah, it probably does almost exactly what he thinks it does. 1, 2, 3. There's gonna be 20. Top 20 cards are gonna get exiled. Face up too. Wait to pop relic
How
until Finks
hilarious
is in the graveyard.
would it be
That strikes me as probably the most
if
likely
it was
play.
face down exiled?
That would be awesome. 1 Liliana down, 2 Lilia. There's still one in there. Two. There's still two in there.
Yeah.
We're fine. If anything, he made it
Those are
more
exiled.
likely to draw it.
Not graveyard. That does make a difference.
Not when he's about to pop the relic.
I mean, but he wouldn't need to pop the relic.
He did not block. You're right.
Do you want me to tell?
You should probably just mention it real lightly.
Hey,
Okay.
Peter, those are exiled, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I just want to make sure.
So, does have 4 mana. Lyra just started spiking. Why?
Because -1/-1 counters.
Oh, just as a way to beat the new cards that might be coming out?
Yep.
That's actually pretty cool. Play a Melira and then play into like the boar or something like that. That actually sounds kind of cool. Okay.
I'm betting he didn't draw Liliana.
That strikes me as a possibility.
Just guesstimating here.
Yep.
How great would it be to have a Melira and then put that enchantment that gives it +3? And it's not going to get -1/-1 counters.
Man, that does sound medium. That does sound really medium. Let's exile another 20. We've got, what, 3 cards left? I think
Do
he's
we
just going
see
to...
other Lilianas?
Not yet. There's one in the library. There's one still in
What?
there. How many cards?
He's
do-
counting Lilianas, I guarantee.
Oh man, this is amazing. What if? If Peter draws
Liliana slaps
Liliana?
it down, and then
and then attacks for 2 6 times?
with what?
The kitchen thing.
Oh, that's true. It's coming back.
And he gains 2.
Gotcha.
Oh no.
He's not going to have that much deck.
What's up, TMTG? That's not
Oh,
good.
block.
We're gonna go up to 12.
Yay! He can take another hit.
Easy. A Sylvan Scrying happening here, but no threats to be seen as
Oh,
of
God.
yet.
Draw the Liliana.
Oh, but he doesn't have 6 turns.
That's why I said he's going to run out of deck before.
What's it got?
He
in
can
hand?
draw another lightning bolt. He has a lightning bolt, I guess.
Tarmogoyf doesn't look too good either.
No, it's a 0/1.
God.
Actually, it'll be a 1/2 because of the Sylvan Scrying.
Oh, God. If Peter has triple bolt, he can win.
He can do it!
Hooray! That was,
Doesn't look like a Liliana.
it did not, but he does have a lightning bolt in hand and another blocker.
I mean, he's going to get milled with this attack.
Oh, good point. This might be moving into it. Yep. All right.
alright.
Next game.
He's going to look. Where was Lily?
Was it next?
I hope not.
Oh, not. So we're going to game 3. Peter gets to be on the play. Remember, running, I believe, 3, maybe 4 Fulminator Mages. He has run 4 in the past. Trondex might be able to play one of the appropriate cycling land. I don't think so, but I'm also not it's possible.
I mean, if they wanted to play cycling, they could have played cycling before now.
Not
Not
really.
the duels, but
The cycle lands are not in
That's true.
Modern.
I mean, they can. You're not wrong.
I'm not sure if they do though.
Problem is, what's the mana investment for a map? Crack it, go get a land to cycle.
Yeah, I think it's more that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm much more interested in building Tybalt, Loam, and cycle lands,
There you go.
and somehow make it
With Death
not
Shadow.
awful, which it will be anyway, because it'll be running Loam. Tybalt can only fix so much. You know, did you ever hear my ultimate deck building advice? One of my most popular comments ever on like Reddit was someone was talking about playing.
Path of WoW, thanks for joining. You're awesome.
I got so excited I choked.
Classic TJ.
Right? But one of my best advice was like, how do I build a good Tybalt deck? Well, here's the trick. Everybody always tries to compensate for Tybalt by running good cards. Now, this is a flawed deck building strategy because you'll always discard the good cards. The trick is to run nothing but bad cards. Because then Tybalt is always discarding a bad card. Now this increases the value of Tybalt immensely. See, everybody's always trying to run those good cards, and it's a problem. It really does make Tybalt bad. You need to approach it from a completely different angle to get value from his possibility. Discarding bad cards with that, much better. A hop, skip, and a jump. It's a reasonable hop, skip, and a
It's
jump.
a very long hop, skip, and a jump. It's like a 4-hour.
Takian,
drive.
thank you so much for the follow. It's a pleasure having you here. That being said, if anybody wants to tweet at them and convince
Tell
them to
them
do
to.
something with us,
We will most definitely do it.
I would 100% drive up there to do something with them without even thinking about it. Done. Ah, man. It also makes your Liliana's your opponent's Liliana upticks worse. Gee, it actually does. Yeah. Yeah, you're
foil
absolutely
Tybalts are not better. They just
right.
taste
No,
weird.
because then you might discard the foil Tybalts.
then you feel bad.
That's exactly a hop, skip, and a jump. You hop better than I do.
That is a long hop.
Skipping and jumping, we're probably even. But hopping, you've got me beat. Man. But yeah, I'll tell you what, if anyone here knows Loading Ready Run, is reasonably close to Loading Ready Run, has any ins whatsoever with them, and is interested in hooking me up to discuss with them doing something, I would absolutely do it.
Because they're cool people from the times we talked to them.
Yeah, they've been delightful to talk to. Favorite spoiler so far, the Red God.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think of the temples? Is that what they are? The artifacts?
Oh, the ones that reduce the cost?
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to think about it more. I'm not sure if they're good enough to cross into constructed. I don't know. Dang it, Project Barrett. That's pretty close, though. You might be able to tweet at them and be convincing because your description will say your location. They might trust you.
Turn 1 Thoughtseize.
Good play. Ancient Strings is already an early pick for me. Ooh, with a map as well. Look at that mana
Either
base, though.
one.
No, look at the mana base.
Ooh.
I think you take the map.
Yeah, you take map because he can't cast Ancient Stirrings this turn.
And if you have another hand disruption, you take the Chromatic Star.
Yep.
And you're done. Your job's done.
GG.
This hand is really bad. Actually, maybe you even take the star.
No, you take map.
Okay, you do take map.
If it's there, take map.
Yeah.
He's
Map
gonna
is so
18 for
good.
that, but he is fine with trading 2 life for a map out of Tron's hand.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Play that. Play the star.
Aw. Sorry to hear that, South-North, but it'll get better with practice.
Now you take the Ancient Stirrings.
Probably. Probably,
Uh-oh.
but just to pass back, maybe holding up an Abrupt Decay? Nah, because he would have used that there. Otherwise, the Ancient Strings is going to get cast now. I think we are going to pop this. I like his conservation here, making sure that if he draws into a Tronland, he can use it. Probably going to fire off an Ancient Strings here. It's possible that Peter has a Dark Confidant in hand, and maybe just didn't want to cast into a Lightning Bolt, but actually I would have casted in there, because if Sean's not going to Lightning Bolt, he's too busy casting the Ancient Strings.
Yeah, you get at least 1 draw off it.
Exactly. Maybe he's got a Fulminator Mage in hand, which is why he may be looking at this one. Huh. I don't know. She's looking at this hand a good amount of times, so that makes me think it may not have a Tronland in it, or possibly that it trying to figure out what threat to go with. Maybe it's a decision between something like a Wormcoil and another star. I'm taking a Wormcoil. Wormcoil's pretty good. Just
No,
think,
Wormcoil sucks.
fling with Key to the City. If I come to Atlanta for the Open, you'll give me free hotel room. I will investigate that. When is it? Is it soon?
I don't know the SCG.
Okay. So,
So do you Abrupt Decay the map this turn?
if you have an Abrupt Decay, yes, absolutely you do.
Or just Fulminator Mage the Tron piece and chuckle?
I think you probably Fulminator Mage the Tron piece and Chuckle sounds pretty good to me too. Liliana Plus doesn't look great right now, especially with the double bolts. Like, those are going to be easy to discard. I do see a Dark Confidant. Surprised he didn't play that last turn as a way to just potentially draw out a
Draws
play that
another
didn't
Bob.
exist. That screams Fulminator Mage. Oh, it's so good!
And Chuckle.
If Sean doesn't hit the second land, that's a dead map too. And
It is.
He played the land that was already revealed. If he doesn't have it, this is brutal.
This is the fields if he just passes back.
Oh, this is about...
We're about to swing back Peter's way if he passes back. Go, boy.
Oh! This is insane, though.
This is Peter's chance to strike.
Abrupt... he likely sided out Abrupt Decay, but a Kolaghan's Command looks insane right now on the map.
Mhm.
Oh, no! Poor Sean. Poor Sean.
The fields.
What's a good Planeswalker for a mono black vampire? Probably Liliana. She's good everywhere.
Or, Sorin.
Going for the red mana here could be think of how especially with what Sean's doing here. Huntmaster of the Fells is a very fast clock.
That's what he's putting down, it looks like.
So-
Ain't a lot of 4-mana spells in this deck.
Not many of them.
Oh, double Bob works. I'm gonna draw all the cards. If this is a land, he's gonna slam it. There it is. That is not the land he was hoping it would be.
No. No.
That is
Peter might just lose for him though. Land to
Trigger.
land.
Land?
Way to go, Peter. Way to go, you did it again.
Showed you.
It's just selfish at this point. Goodness gracious. Of course. Of course.
And he had the Huntmaster the whole
Why
time.
not? I'll gain 2 of that life back. Probably drew it. Probably drew it as the
Probably.
third card.
I ain't taking 4. I'm taking 0.
I'd
Into
rather
games.
not. Oh, man. That is just dumb.
Good job, Bryce.
Way to be, Bryce. Way to be. But seriously, I swear. Watch 2 more lands.
I mean, he's flooding out hard.
You know what?
That's
I'm going to
true.
say he's going to take 2 damage off of the next upkeep.
2 bolts.
I'm actually thinking
Bolt. That would be hilarious.
it's probably going to be like Tarmogoyf. It's going to be
And it's
Tarmogoyf
like,
in a
oh
land.
no.
Gosh, wow, I drew a threat. Oh no.
Fiddlesticks.
But seriously, I'm betting 2 damage. Don't know the configuration, but I'm betting
Sean
2
is-
damage.
I mean, he can
He's lightning bolt.
give Peter life to kill a Bob.
Is this all it takes to beat Tron with Jund? Apparently. We're gonna gain a life, lightning bolt the Huntmaster.
Okay. Here we go. See, now he's fine losing life. He'd gained 3 this last turn. Goif, land. Oh.
Ooh!
Look at him taking damage. That's
Seriously!
the first time I've
He's
seen Peter not
breaking-
hit land.
He's breaking out of his comfort zone pretty heavily right now.
Well, he's attacking for 6 this turn.
Feels reasonable.
And gaining 2 with Kitchen
And
Finks.
then he's got 2 Dark Confidants that he still might lose to. Remember
I mean, he can play Tarmogoyf Kitchen Finks.
that Sheldon's got another lightning bolt in hand.
So he's at 9, functionally.
He's kind of
Yeah, but
nine.
he's swinging for 6 this turn, and then a lot more next turn, because he can
Just cast the Tarmogoyf?
Tarmogoyf and Kitchen Finks,
Oh,
and
man.
attack with Raging Ravine next. Or that works.
Or you can just shred this hand that's already struggling. Yay! And still have the Tarmogoyf up.
Yep. Ancient Stirrings.
How
Oh.
bad are you? How bad is this game when you're pitching Ancient Strings?
It's not going the way you intended. Let's put it that way.
Things have
Play
taken
Tarmogoyf.
a steep
'cause
decline.
You always play Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, and with Sean at 10, he's actually dead to the attack of next turn. Anyway,
Yeah, he's dead on board.
exactly. Because of the
Ugh.
the Raging Ravine as well.
Yeah. I mean, the Goyf is artifact, sorcery, land, instant.
Enough.
Creature? Is there a creature?
There's enough.
It's dead. Okay.
Woo! Well,
Yeah, he does have a Ghost Order for the Raging Ravine. Gosh, TJ.
That's true. That's true. Depends on how he has to use his resources.
Could he O-Stone? No.
Not pop it. He
Oh
could
my
play an
goodness, he
O-Stone
could
all
play
day.
an O-Stone. What's he planning on looking at here?
I have no
He already played
idea.
his land for turn.
I have no idea. That is unfortunate, 5-speed LA.
That's why you don't play Flip It or Rip It.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't. I have. It's never felt particularly good.
Like, let's destroy this potential money.
I don't play it anymore.
Peter's next top is Angler Angler. Funny thing, he doesn't play Angler.
Sean, so sneaky.
Here's your Anglers. You already played land for turn, so, pass?
Oh, man.
Save a bolt for a Bob so you don't die. If he doesn't act... He can live a turn if he bolts a Bob or the Wolf and Ghost Quarters the Raging Ravine.
Yeah. Flip It or Rip It is actually banned in the store. Geek Fortress has banned Flip It or Rip It. Which actually is somewhat reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit rude. Like, can you imagine being a new player and someone does that right
Bolt
in front
the
of you?
Wolf.
Blazing Gunner, thank you so much for hitting that sub button. I appreciate it. You're great. Have a good night. 5-speed LA and Blazing Gunner, thank you so much for the 4 months of being amazing and
Trigger.
awesome.
Maelstrom Pulse.
Yeah,
But he gained one from the...
the Grove of the Burn Willows.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, let's play a game.
Woo! How can you ban it? You say, don't play it in the shop. Like, if you are in the shop, don't play Flip It or Rip It.
Or you won't be able to buy packs from me. Ever again.
Like,
Discarding Olamog.
seems
Oh, goodness.
reasonable. The reason it's banned is because it's just a feel bad for a player who, like, some players do not have the same money to spend on packs and all that. And it feels pretty bad when someone's sitting next to you doing that.
You could Ghost Quarter and live a turn.
Peter just beat Jund.
No,
Attacks
Peter
at the
playing Jund.
Sorry.
Beat.
Peter
Peter
just
and Tron.
beat the Jund deck, which should have lost there, by taking it and saying, hey,
Peter
let's
beat
turn it
the
around.
Tron deck.
Yes.
Which should have beat Jund.
Well, he beat his Jund deck. Because his Jund deck was going to lose. But he stopped it from losing. So he had to first conquer Jund before he could conquer Tron. I'm digging my way out of this by going through the earth. He beat Tron,
Nice
everybody.
job, Peter. That's a very unfavorable matchup, and you did it.
He beat Tron. You thought not? It's not a story the store owners would tell you. There was once a player so confident that he thought he could rip any card and still pull value.
Took out the Pyroclasms. He brought in the Lightning Bolts.
Love it. I mean, they killed Dark Confidants. That may have been the only motivation.
Yeah.
But let's head on up.
All right. I don't think we have any more matches going.
See you up, everybody. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining. My name's TJ.
I'm Eric.
And we are doing the Geek Fortress stream located in Snohomish, Washington.
We are.
Gotta love it, where you can check out geekfortressgames.com to help support the stream. You can also hit that follow button to join us more in the future. And you can hit that sub button to help support the stream and what it does. It's all kinds of cool. We're going to be buying a new
It's true.
computer soon. We've got also a couple of ideas of how to potentially put that money to a pretty cool idea.
It'll be
We've got-
sweet.
Yep. We've got ideas. We're excited about them, and we're hoping that they go all the places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling the hype?
I'm always feeling the hype, TJ.
Absolutely wonderful, and I'm
Always.
excited that you are. He's like beat up on Tronfidant. That's a cool name. I like that one a
Playing
lot.
Bobs in your Tron deck, that seems like a good way to die.
Clever. Clever. There was once a player so confident. Nice. No, yeah, the Fulminator Mage was incredible there.
That's what
Peter,
won the game.
like, it was just awesome. It was just great. It was amazing, and he had the high ground at the end of that match. And, one thing, like, Tron just should not underestimate the abilities
I
of
refuse
Jund.
to join you with your prequel memeing.
Prequel memes are great. Prequel memes are 100% awesome. But I think we are towards the end of the stream for us. I believe that we have no more matches out there. We are a little bit light on time. There's only 6 minutes left here in the shop, and we did get through our 4 rounds, which is what we do on these Wednesdays.
So we do every Wednesday.
Because people that can then go home. I've got a desk to try and rearrange and move my computer around and all that stuff. And I'm basically trying to get back to when I can stream. It's been a while since I streamed from home, and I'm going to try back to doing that regularly pretty soon. And a lot of that has to do with getting home and starting to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How about you? You feeling good?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I always feel good when I'm here to talk about Magic.
God, Magic is so much fun.
It is.
So, your thoughts. You're going on what deck you think is underrated right now.
In Modern or just in general?
In Modern. It's a Modern stream.
In Modern, I would say Infect, because it is still out there and can still beat you just as fast as it used to. It just doesn't have the whole knowing it's going to beat you before it beats you.
Sure.
It didn't lose really anything to the combo or anything like that. I think it's very underrated right now.
Sure. I think that's pretty reasonable. BitBite! Thank you so much for your money. I appreciate that. You're amazing and kind and generous, and I appreciate all the bits that do bite. Suppose?
He meant that.
I meant that. I am actually going to say Living End. We talked about that
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that Living End is obviously Living End is always a meta deck. So it's not going to be a sudden tier 1 contender consistently. But Living End looks pretty good against a lot of what's happening in the field right now. When fair decks are aplenty, Living End comes out to play. And I think that now is a fine time for it to be out and about. Especially, I might, if I were a speculator or anything like that, if I was going to buy Living End, I would do it now before any more cards with Cycling 1
Yeah.
get spoiled.
By the way, Peter, nice job. Your deck does not usually beat
I
Tron.
should have subbed with half of that.
Oh, well.
I have no way to award subs, unfortunately, but that is hilarious. Oh, goodness. Dredge keeps putting up good results on Moto. That's also true. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Dredge beat turn 3 Emrakul this weekend. I was on the Emrakul side.
Oh,
I was not
goodness.
the happiest.
Who would guess that Double Stony Silence and an Elish Norn would beat Affinity? I think Vince would. I think Vince would guess that. Oh, Cole Maniac would. Okay, or that. Naturally, he would.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dredge is good. I think it's rated about where it should be. I see a lot of people playing it, so it's not like I don't think people are. I think people have moved away from Infect and Living End, and I don't think they're playing it when I think it is still good.
Yep. I think Affinity is waiting in the shadows at the moment, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come spike a GP.
question.
Answer.
For all the people who saw me with that giant hat,
Oh, God.
should that be a new emote? For what in
Yes,
Tarnation?
it should.
Or that's where you're wrong?
That's why you're wrong, kiddo.
Like, it wouldn't. It'd just be the face. So I
With
need
the
to know
hat.
what it needs to encompass, and should it be an emote? Because I believe we've got one that we can submit for, and I love it. The problem is we need to come up with the phrase that it's doing. But like that hat. Oh, I know that I know you have it on standby. Actually, I would use the one that you made, the first one. So that in Fort Sappy, we do need to come with an image for Fort Sappy.
It'll just be TJ getting all emotional at you.
I know, but we need to have like the clip for it or something like that.
If you just like,
I need to come up with exactly the feeling that it encompasses, but I think that just seems like a fun emote.
the hat though, that's good.
Fort Kiddo. Fort Kiddo sounds pretty close. All right. Well,
We'll
I
mull
think
it
we're
over.
coming up towards the end of this stream. We're going to go have some fun, but remember, we've got Legacy at 7:30 on Friday. We've got Modern at 6 o'clock on Saturday. We've got some cool ideas hopefully coming down the pipeline maybe in the next month or two. I also need to... I need to figure out... It would not include the finger guns. It'd just be the hat. If you make the finger guns, everything becomes too small that you can't actually tell anything. I might need to find someone who's good at video editing. Yes. But more on that later. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Thanks for being here. You're great.
Thank you.
From all of us here at Geek Fortress, whether it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, I'm going to buy myself a little bit of time as I try and find out who we're going to host on over to. And then we are going to host on over to them, and then we're going to be streaming more.
We're going to say it to someone awesome.
Yes,
Some
we
top
are.
notch streaming.
The cream of the crop, really.
It's true.
Yes. It looks like... I see sealed. Let's do Team NFG Bot. That's a good stream. Let's host on over to the Team NFG Bot.
Host LSV. I don't think he really needs the host.
Yeah. Probably does not need the host. Alright, everybody. Thank you so very much for everything that you do for us. And I look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
It's good to be back. Go hit follow for Team NFG Bot. Good people there. They're working on getting a 24-hour constant stream going. See you there.